when Heartland Park, Topeka converted to a dirt oval, no one knew what to expect. But with the world of outlaws, the mystery of the unknown is the temptation they crave. The outlaw posse responded that night with wild bucking broncs, more bump and run tactics than an NFL minicamp, crimson colored brake discs, and quite a few hot collars. It was dirt track dueling at its finest. And tonight, the outlaws are back, armed and dangerous, and ready to fire in the O'Reilly Shootout on TNN. Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas is the next stop for the Pennzoil World of Outlaws in the year 2000 chase for the championship. Last year they came here and threw dirt on top of this very famous and fast drag strip. Turned out to be quite a little racetrack, and we're back to do it again this year with the O'Reilly Shootout coming your way here tonight on TNN Sports. Now, this event is a 3-day format, a little bit different than what we normally show you here on TNN Sports. These guys have been scoring points each of the 2 nights previous, so that is how we're going to set up a lot of the field here tonight. The top 4 point scorers, Craig Delansky, Andy Hillenberg, Steve Kinzer, and Slammin' Sammy Swindell, are already set into tonight's A-main event. The rest of the guys, starting with Danny Lasowski, have to work their way into the program here tonight to get into the A-main event. Now, Andy Hillenberg really likes this place. Last year, Brad Doty, he had a strong run here to claim the A feature.
Look at that right there, a lot of forward bite. You can see the air coming off that big old wing.
And, well, this year, things didn't change a whole lot as Andy found his way to victory lane here again. But this year, I think the biggest difference, the chassis is pretty much the same as Bobby Gerald, different tire compound.
Yeah, Andy Hillenberg has switched tire compounds. He's on the Hoosiers now, and that's kind of been a key to your success here, but maybe more than that, it brings out the best of you here on the tight racetracks. What's up with that?
I don't know. This place, it is an awful tight racetrack, but it's been good to us. So now the Hoosier tires are really working well. I think the first 3 or 4 cars were on them last night, so they're good here, and our J&J car's been good here, so it's working out.
Andy Hillenberg, second in points overall for the event. Now, the man who is #1, he's standing by with our pit colleague, Dave Argabright.
Well, Craig Delansky, a lot of people say they might not be so sure they like this tight, corner-tight racetrack, but Craig Delansky, you like it. You're leading in points, is that right?
Yeah, you know, fortunately after the 2 nights here, we're leading the point deal, and, you know, it's definitely a different racetrack than we were on last week there in Bristol, but, you know, it's just a little slower pace, but it's still a fun, racy little racetrack.
Now, you're not saying you like it just because you're leading in points or anything like that, are you?
Well, it's always nice when you're running good and you're leading the points going into tonight's race. You know, we'll be starting on the front row of the dash, so, you know, hopefully we can keep this Caravan Polydome car up front and, you know, see what happens.
He's confident. Ralph, back to you.
Well, finding a line around this kind of racetrack, maybe this guy's found a good line. It might be just about that tight as it is here to go racing at Heartland Park, but I kind of like this thing, Brad. It's nice to see the drivers having to do something a little bit different. It's not a high horsepower track. It's going to even the field out, and I think we could see a guy find his way to victory lane who doesn't normally do that on our tracks. Very easily could be Craig Delansky tonight.
Well, it could, and I talked to about every driver in the pits over the last 2 days, and I didn't find anybody that liked it as a driver, but I think it's a good show for the fans. And they look at me, they think it's funny, but it keeps everybody really tight and bunched up all the way through the field.
Well, how about the format here? They've been scoring points the first 2 nights, kind of like you would see it in Knoxville a little bit.
Right.
Now, here's what we're going to have here tonight is our race format for you. We've got 4 heats, the 2 Chanock Dashes, of course. That will help fill out the rest of the A feature. And then to wrap it all up, we'll run the B feature, of course, to get those last few cars into the A. And then 30 laps, 24 cars on this track. How are those guys going to have to drive this track as opposed to a Bristol?
Well, very, very carefully, but you know, I've said it before, Ralph, the lap traffic's going to be the key, and especially on a little bull ring like this where they're all going to be beating and banging trying to get to the bottom. We've compared everything to Winston Cup. It's like a Martinsville, Virginia for the World of Outlaws.
Well, the fans are coming into the racetrack, finding their seats, getting ready to go racing. And we're going to have it all for you on this very tight little racetrack here at Heartland Park. Stay with us. Should be a lot of fun here tonight.
Champions agree. Prolong engine treatment has no equal in the world. You know, I can't drive around town at over 300 miles per hour, but I still put my personal vehicles under a lot of stress. I count on Prolong for the ultimate in protection and performance.
The youngsters have used Prolong off the track for years because we know it works.
Nothing lubricates like Prolong. Its patented technology treats the engine, not just the oil.
Prolong's a super lubricant. It bonds to the metal in your car's engines and helps reduce friction. There's nothing else like it.
I believe in Prolong. At home, I use it in every engine I have.
Prolong's great stuff. In fact, it's so superior to other engine treatments that they offer a lifetime limited product warranty for your engine.
But if you want the warranty, you have to call Prolong.
Call today and get the details on the lifetime warranty.
Find out how using Prolong can help save you money. Call the number on your screen now. Prolong, no equal in the world.
The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base.
Great parts for these vehicles and yours. That's the Mopar difference.
TNN's exclusive coverage of the O'Reilly Shootout is brought to you by Mopar, parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles from the dealerships that sell and install them. Here's a look from turn 1 back up the front straightaway towards turn 4 here at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas. As we get set for heat number 1 action. Cars getting pushed off and rolling around as we take a look at our Heat 1 Mopar starting grid. Danny Lasowski and Jeff Shepard. Lasowski 5th in the outlaw points. Shepard leading the gum out points. Shane Stewart and Californian Brad Furr. Darren Pittman and Pennsylvanian Brian Paulus, who's been running real fast lately. Greg Hodnett, Donnie Jeschke, and Darren Stewart. Round out the field as you look at our Mopar starting grid. Now there's Danny Lasowski's Beef Packers 83. Now last night in his heat race, Lasowski looked like he had it all wrapped up. However, on the last lap, look at what happens here. Kills him.
He just got in there behind that lap car, got a little bit high and looped it. And that, I mean, that probably would have, he'd have been in the top 4 in points, wouldn't even have to run anything tonight, just that hot lap session. So it really hurt him.
I talked to Danny about that. He said it was all the driver's fault. He said I was waiting to see which way the guy was going to go. He committed. I went that way, and once it got up in the air, he said I could have either jumped on it or dropped it. And he said I dropped it, and that killed the motor. We got an onboard, a Super 8 Motel backed onboard camera with Greg Hodnett. A Maxim chassis powered by a Gertie engine. He is right behind Darren Pittman and Brad Paulus, or Brian Paulus, I should say. Here we go. First heat race of the night. Well, one up against the wall, and it looks like it's Brian Paulus.
Maybe you jinxed him there when you got the right rear flat.
Tires flat, yeah.
It's probably got the wheel and everything. Maybe the Jacobs ladder, but definitely the tires flat. What he's trying to do is limp it around to the work area coming out of turn 4, and his crew right now are hustling, grabbing a tire and a jack and their mule. They're loading all that stuff up and getting it up to this work area to get that tire changed.
The team's transporters are parked over in what would be the pit area for the NHRA cars when they're here. Here's a look at them coming at turn 4, so we should see Brian coming right at us. Yep.
See, the track's been, that might have caught them off guard. The track's been really dry and slick the last couple of nights, so they tightened the car up, and maybe it's a little bit too tight as he bicycled there and hit the wall. There's the crew.
Crew working on it, trying to get that right rear off, so that when the new one gets there, they'll be ready to go.
That dust cover, that big aluminum plate you just saw take off, that's just to keep the mud from packing in the wheel, and it shakes the car loose. It's really throws it out of balance.
Now he'll have a couple of minutes to get the car fixed.
Right. Outlaw rules, they get 2 laps to change a tire.
And depending on the size of the racetrack, 2 laps can be plenty.
Exactly, but on a little racetrack, obviously, it's a lot shorter time, and so they really got to hustle. Now, he will have to go to the back. We've said it many times. Anytime you change a tire, look at this.
There's our Martin Cat Power aerial platform. We're going to have some views for you. Now, the bottom of the frame is turns 1 and 2, and the top of the frame is 3 and 4.
Right.
Big difference, Brad.
Look at the paperclip racetrack, and I've heard guys say that one end was tighter than the other, and that shows it right there.
Bobby?
Yeah, these guys all say that turn 3 is tighter, so coming off 4, you can see the damage that you can do. I mean, it didn't even look that bad, like the 28 hit the wall at about half speed, but you can see it totally ruined that wheel. So they've had to change the right rear. Paulus's crew has now done that, and they're getting him back out onto the racetrack, guys, but could just be the first of many to come tonight.
Let's take a look at that aerial shot again. Now, Brad, big difference between 3 and 4 at the top of the screen and 1 and 2 at the bottom.
It is, and that, again, that's what happened to Brian there. He got in and it's a little tight down there in the corner, and you really got to bend the car around. I mean, you get down there and these cars have 3-wheel brakes, and the reason for that, the harder you stand on the brake, the more it turns the corner. As Brian's trying to catch back up to the end of the field here. Guys have talked about braking so important here. They've considered putting 4-wheel brakes or putting a right front brake on it, but they knew that if they get in trouble where the car pushes or they need to turn these tight corners, you can't stab that brake and get the car to turn anymore with 4-wheel brakes. So most of them elected to stay with 3-wheel brakes.
Next time by, we should get the green flag. Lasowski and Shepard on the front row.
I don't want to move Brian back 1 row. He was back there, 1 row from the end anyway, but hard to say what other damage might be done to that car.
Advantage to be on the inside or the outside at the start of one of these on a track like this?
Right now, the racetrack looks pretty equal, but it's so short around probably the bottom because it's so tight off the corner. Danny probably has the advantage.
Plus, he likes running the bottom of most tracks anyway.
Yeah, he sure does. But it's a little farther around to the outside. That outside car's got to either, just get a little bit of a roll start on the guy. As you see right there, he did, so you're in trouble.
Lasowski gets a good jump as we come to the green, and he'll lead him to 1.
Oh, we got the cars.
1 car rolling up wide.
Oh, Shane Stewart.
And then the number 9.
Looked like what he did. He just got in there and got on the right front. The car was too tight. Oh, we got Brad Furr. Again,
that'll bring out a yellow over in turn 4.
The racetrack is really heavy and sticky right now, and it looks like it's throwing a lot of these guys off when they're set up.
You can see all the mud kicked up on the face. That's a big indicator that the track would be very, very heavy. Brad will just rip a tear off. We'll rip out a few commercials and we'll be right back.
When you're a big-time racer, it's just fame, fortune, and beautiful women. A pretty cool package. Almost as cool as the Luxair 2000 Performance Package. Get up to $200 cash back. Or make no payments and pay no interest for 6 months. Okay, so it's not fame and beautiful women, but when you save a small fortune, who knows where it'll lead? Offer ends June 30th, so find your Luxair dealer fast at 1-800-LUXAIRE.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all Cornell 808 35,000-mile tires, 4 for $99. Futura 855 55,000-mile tires, 4 for $129. Or get our Futura 70,000-mile tires, all sizes, 4 for only $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
You're sweating like crazy.
You got TV cameras all over you.
The last thing you want is this white clumpy thing running down your arm.
It's just rude. We asked some of the hottest pros under the sun to switch antiperspirants.
Green visible solid? What's that? I would assume it goes on clear, but I'm not sure I believe that.
When your body heats up, Degree Invisible Solid releases extra protection with a clear difference.
Right there. See, there's no white stuff. The harder I work, the harder it works. No flaking, no funk, no Klingons.
Degree Invisible Solid. Works hard but never shows.
After the match, there's a ton of girls.
Gotta be cool.
Oh, Becky, look. Wow. There's the Big Dipper, and there's Orion.
Daddy? Who turns off the stars at night?
Nobody. They're on all night.
So how come we never see them from home?
Discover the world through a new set of eyes. Go RVing. Visit an RV dealer or call for a free video.
Here's a replay from Greg Hondit's view. What took place with Brad Furr just in front of him.
Same thing that happened to Brian Paulus. Just hooked a rut.
And they've just thrown the green, and we're back to it with Lasowski back out in front of Shepard.
That's something we haven't seen in the past 2 days, are ruts, because it's been so hard packed.
On board with Hondit. That's a big dirt clod that hit him right in the screen.
Looks like it's starting to slick off a little bit on the very bottom groove.
Now here's a battle going on. That too is Brad Furr, and right behind him is Paulus. Is a car just in front of them. Got a little bit loose, and that made all the difference. Darren Stewart, the 9S.
Well, I got in there and took a big push. Again, the track too tight. Took a big push. That front end wouldn't turn, and shoved him up there, and those guys got under him.
Look at Lasowski picking up the right front wheel as he comes off the corner, Brad.
Well, a lot of that, the big wings, look at that.
Look at that.
And the wing always wants to bury the left rear car, but they've probably got a lot of right rear weight in these cars, which means that it plants the right rear a little harder, takes weight off the right front, so it's light anyway, and boy, that wing pushes down that left rear and just gets it up there.
Now, does he have any sensation of that wheel coming up?
Oh, yeah, you know when it gets up. And
because you always talk about you can't see it. Can you feel it?
Yeah, you can't see it, but you can definitely feel it.
Here's a battle for the transfer spot. That's Hondit in the 12V, the V12 actually is the way they say it, and Furr in the red 2 right behind him. On board with Hondit in that final transfer spot. And he's trying to catch up to Shane Stewart just in front of that white car.
One way you can feel it, when that thing gets up light like that, the steering, it's almost like it goes away. It's so easy. There's no feel in the wheel at all until the wheels touch the ground again, and then you know you're back down.
He is flying that right front the entire length of the straightaways. Look at that.
Yeah, getting a little daylight under the left run, I believe, too. And some of these, he's just taking the white flag.
For sale, one very slightly used right front tire. Leans it hard on the right rear as he comes to the checkered flag. And Lasowski, who blew it basically, as he even said himself in yesterday's heat, picks it off here tonight.
And you can bet he was thinking about that, too.
I'm sure he was. And Hondit will hold on for the transfer over Brad Furr.
When Danny saw that white flag lap, I can guarantee he was thinking, now come on, one more lap. Just get through here and get to the finish line.
Yeah, you can see he tried hard to clear himself of the traffic, which bit him last night. Well, coming up tomorrow on TNN, the Winston Cup drivers get their shot at the unique 3 turns of Pocono Raceway. There's always a lot of action in the Pocono 500, so check it out tomorrow at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific, right here on TNN. Crowd enjoying the action in heat number 1. Here's your Napa results. Lasowski, Shepard, Stewart, and Hondit all go on to the A. Brad Furr's going to have to work his way through the B. We'll be right back with more from the O'Reilly Shootout after this.
If you're not a fisherman, you might think that Jim's a little crazy, that he's gone overboard. But fishermen understand. It's not just a pastime. It's a way of life. Like the tide, it controls everything they do. It's who they are and who they're with. And it's not just enough to say they love fishing. They're driven by it. eAngler.com understands. It features a world-class pro shop, guide services, travel, a complete newsstand, expert advice, and online licensing. It's the ultimate website dedicated to everyone who'd rather be fishing. Plus, call or log on to eAngler.com to enter the I Landed the Big One sweepstakes to win 4 exotic fishing trips around the world, a Ranger bass boat, and $65,000 in cash. So call or log on now and
catch it on eAngler.com.
Well, the O'Reilly Shootout is underway at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas, and TNN is here to bring it all to you. So our Martin Cat Power aerial platform gives you this look from high above this famous drag strip, which turned out to be a pretty good dirt oval, Bobby.
Yeah, and a pretty good drag strip for Danny Lasowski, too, lifting that right front. What's that feel like?
Oh, it feels really good. It feels like Gary Selzy going down a quarter mile here. It's really a lot of fun. I'll tell you what, we needed that after the last couple of days we've had some major league driver errors, and I got to make it up to these guys. They work real hard.
Danny Lasowski gets the win in heat race number 1, and Ralph, we won't tell him that Selzy crashed 2 times here last year at Topeka.
No, but Selzy knows how to get down a quarter mile pretty good.
Yes, he does.
Oh, he can eat the highs as good as anybody. Let's take a look as we get ready for Napa Heat number 2 at our Mopar starting grid. For that one, Mark Kinzer and Danny Wood. In row number 1, Jason Myers and Donnie Crawford. Johnny Herrera alongside of Ronald Laney, the 20 and the 52 back in row number 3. Christy Passmore, she's been running pretty strong, and Bob Bennett in the 3B, and Ken Stolfus will round out the field in row 5 in the 121. There's Danny Woods, 21W, the Pepsi back car. Kevin Goldrick, Rookie of the Year points leader. Now, he had some trouble Thursday night battling it out with Brian Paulus. They get together, and Danny spins around up on the rear tail.
Yeah, that was, he was running second or third at the time.
So he is back ready to go now in Napa Heat number 2. And this is, again, I talked with him earlier tonight, and this is, again, the kind of racetrack that could play into the hands of a driver like that. It's not a high-dollar, high lightweight engine kind of night.
Absolutely, it's going to benefit a team like Danny's.
Dave Argerbright.
Well, Ralph, this is the type of situation that can really catch a driver and a team unprepared. You roll out for your heat race expecting a heavy, wet racetrack, but if it has slicked off, your setup could be completely and absolutely out to lunch. So we'll have to watch the cars as they come out for the heat, watch the first couple of laps, because you can really see somebody not just miss it, but like really, really miss it. Do you agree, Brad Doty?
Well, absolutely. That's what we were just talking about. I think it did catch some of these guys off guard. They were expecting a slick, dry, slick racetrack, and it went out and it's heavy and had some ruts in it.
As you take a look at the track description, you can see it's 0.3 of a mile, banking in the turns 8 degrees, 600 feet on the front stretch. How radically different is the setup for a slick track or one that is slicked off as opposed to a heavy track?
Well, it can get radically different. You know, you always want to plant the rear tires, and that's your main goal all night long. So they'll have to take stagger out and put a bigger left rear on it, move the wing back, stand it up.
I mean, are we talking 1/8 of an inch, 3 inches?
Oh, some of these guys, if they're struggling, you know, and they miss on the setup, they'll change everything except the number on that race car. I mean, they'll go drastic, and that's the only way you learn and figure out things. And some of them, I mean, literally go from stiff bars to torsion bars to real lightweight, real easy up shocks, and just go drastic. They figure, what do we have to lose? We're not running well anyway, so we'll just change it all.
Well, Johnny Herrera is going to start this race from the inside of the 3rd row. There's his black number 20, the Network's backed entry. We talked to him earlier about how the team's been struggling.
There has been some times we have qualified in the top 12 and we get that, you know, get started in the front row of the heat race, and we just don't seem to take advantage of that situation either. So, like I said, it just hasn't been real consistent for us. It's either we're really good or we ain't no good at all.
Another driver that came out strong early on in the season has lost some of his rhythm, fighting to find his way back.
Yeah, you win the first race of the year, you know, think, boy, this is going to be a great season, and they have struggled ever since.
Danny Wood right alongside of Mark Kinzer as we come to the green. Good jump for the Mopar car. Mark Kinzer out front. Donnie Crawford making some moves in that black number 1. Oh, and Johnny Herrera right into the wall. Now he's got a battle around Laney's 52, the red car.
Laney took a big push there again. The track a little stickier than ever, and he thought he was pushing with the front end, but Johnny still can't take advantage of it.
Well, you saw his car sit there, turn, and went dramatically to the right as opposed to the left.
Yeah, again, it's, you know, they don't have a small enough left rear tire, but it actually looks like a lot of the guys are real soft on their torsion bars on the right rear, and the cars are laying over to the right. Now getting into the left, but right there, getting in to get down on the left rear, but in the middle of the corner, the car's leaning to the right, and that's not what you need on a heavy racetrack like this.
Mark Kinzer, there he is, your leader, going through turns 1 and 2. Man, he is pulling out a big lead. Here's the battle for second. Wood holding off right now the 1/8 of Crawford, the black car.
Crawford ran good here last year, too, at this racetrack, so he's another one that likes this place. Of course, we talked about Andy Hillenberg running so well and liking this place. That car's owned by Andy's dad, so that's the reason it's black and it's number 1. But so maybe they've got the same or a similar setup on both those cars.
Now there's your leader in the Mopar 5M, Mark Kinzer, and he's picking up that right front, and he's working through traffic now.
Yeah, you can see the mud on the wings there and stuff where they're slinging some of that around, but you know, these guys have worked for 2 days to get the car to lay on the right rear, to get it to hook up through the corners, and now all of a sudden the racetrack's sticky.
Hard on the brakes, Steve and Craig Kinzer watching. Now Mark's not picking that right front up as far as Lasowski was?
Well, see, Carl was probably watching Lasowski and thinking, oh boy, these cars are too tight, so he had a chance to loosen his car up a little bit, which is probably lower the nose, get the nose down a couple inches so it doesn't carry it so high.
Down the backstretch for the final time. Oh, that didn't look too good. Mark Kinzer.
That really doesn't look good.
A lot of smoke coming out of that car. He'll take the checker flag. Here's the battle for second. 3 cars coming to it. And it is going to be Crawford who gets it. He had gotten around Wood. Wood in the 21 will end up finishing 3rd. And Herrera will come home in 4th, it looks like, in front of Jason Myers. So Johnny should get the last transfer spot. So he battled back hard.
Yeah, he sure did after seeing him hitting that wall on the back straightaway.
Now we've got 2 more heats for you. Yeah, here's the results from that Napa heat. Kinzer, Crawford, Wood, and Herrera go on. Myers and the rest go to the B. 2 more Napa heats coming your way here on TNN Sports from Topeka.
One of the secrets of a lush green lawn and a beautiful garden is the right amount of water in the right place. That's why Sears created the Craftsman Quiet Pulse Sprinkler. It gives you precise, even coverage. The unique 4-stream jet nozzle and gear-driven motor quietly disperse a steady stream of water across your lawn. It's easy to adjust for variable and precise distance control. Even low water pressure is enough to power its rotary head. Need to fertilize? Get the Craftsman Quiet Feed. It can fertilize your lawn as it waters. Just add your favorite water-soluble lawn food to the bottle base. No more need for fertilizer spreaders and sprayers. The Quiet Feed is perfect for everyday watering, too. It has the same great control features as the Quiet Pulse. Craftsman Quiet Pulse and Quiet Feed make caring for your lawn fast and easy. Sears, the good life at a great price, guaranteed.
Have your Sears or other credit card ready and call 1-800-972-4600 to order your Craftsman Quiet Pulse for just $19.98 or your Craftsman Quiet Feed for $24.99 plus shipping and handling. Call now.
There's only 3 turns at Pocono Raceway. Ask any Winston Cup driver. 3 is enough. It's the Pocono 500, live Sunday at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific on TNN Sports.
Where can you save more than $500 in taxes on your next vehicle purchase? Right here in the heart of the Verde Valley, where you pay the lowest sales tax rate in Arizona. Just 5 minutes off I-17. No dealer in Arizona can beat Steve Corey's price on new Buicks, Pontiacs, or GMC trucks.
Pontiac and GMC.
Home of the no city sales tax.
At Terrell Markson, we work hard to sell you a quality, dependable, long-lasting car that will be by your side through the years and across the miles. Whether it be an economy car or luxury car, we'll help fill your needs. So stop in today for a test drive at Terrell Markson, where there's always no pressure, no hype, and find out what real hometown pride is all about. Located at 1118 West Highway 66 in Flagstaff. That's Terrell Markson Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac. Real hometown value.
There's a quick look high above the racetrack here at Heartland Park, and let's go downstairs and meet the winner at heat number 2 with Dave Argerbright.
Well, Mark Kinzer, we saw some oil from the Mopar power plant. Is that anything you're concerned with?
Nothing at all to be concerned with. We got a little bit of blow-by problem there. I think we actually put too much oil in the canister before we went out there, and RPMs you run here to go down the long straightaways, it gets blowing a little bit of oil.
No problem here, Ralph. Back to you.
Here's your Mopar starting grid. Hodenshield, Schaefer, Blevins, Saldana, Smith, and Schatz. As they come off of 4, Carlson, Topper, Kennedy were green. Donnie Schatz from the outside. Way back in the field, but it's Schaefer up front.
Schatz has been struggling, boy, like we talked to, earlier, you and I, he's just not having a very good year right there. He just doesn't look good.
That yellow car was way on the outside and just not running well, but Schaefer's got the vibrant car running strong.
Well, you always want to be out front of any race, but especially when there's a little bit of mud on the racetrack, you always want to be out front, not to get covered up with mud.
Well, Jack's not letting him get away too fast. There's Schatz, the Parker Store 15, doing everything he can, Bobby, to hang in there.
Yeah, he is, but it's really a struggle right now for Donnie Schatz. The last 2 nights here at Topeka, he hasn't even made it out of the B main. We talked with him earlier. He is now the chief mechanic on this car as Dave Yankston and the team part of company. And Donnie said, I wrote in my mechanics journal, next year, when we go to Topeka, go fishing.
Well, he's fly fishing the right front as Brian Paulus and the gang look on. Lasowski watching with Shepard and Delansky. Everybody trying to get a read on this racetrack. Now, I got to ask you, Brad, as we watch Schaefer working his magic here, we said it kind of looks like a giant paperclip. Well, everybody says Williams Grove's a giant paperclip. Why are they struggling here and not at Williams Grove, which has straightaways even longer than this one?
Well, yeah, Williams Grove just a bigger paperclip, but the turns aren't quite as tight as these are right here. And these straightaways are just low enough. They're getting some good straightaway speed, but they really got to stop it to make the turn at the other end. Williams Grove, yes, they got straightaway speeds, but the corners are still sweeping enough they can get through them okay.
Well, one guy should know his way around Williams Grove is the driver of that black 19, the Ingersoll Rand car, Stevie Smith. He's trying to fight his way around Lance Blevins right now. He just can't get it.
Boy, you can see him moving around trying to find a line getting into the corner, but just couldn't get it done.
He's got to get it done. It's the fight for the final transfer spot. There's Schaefer, the leader. Look at that left front wheel, not even spinning at all.
Yeah, he was on the brake. He was trying to get the car turned. He had the brakes locked up.
There's that battle again, and Schatz is in there too, but it's not going to happen quick enough as the checkered flag comes down. Schaefer gets the win. Hodenshield will come home in second. Joey Saldana will go on to the A, and so will Lance Blevins. Smith, Schatz, Carlson, Kennedy, and Topper are all going to the B as you look at the results in Napa Heat number 3. But coming up next Saturday on TNN Saturday Night at the Races, the ASA drivers travel just down the road to I-70 Speedway for the Missouri 300, presented by Janny King. It's another short track war Saturday night at 9 Eastern and Pacific, right here on TNN. He raced there when it was dirt, didn't he? At I-70.
Yeah, sure did.
It's pavement now, but we got dirt here. We're coming back to race on it with Heat 4 after this.
Whatever life throws your way, you gotta be ready. No sweat. You got Speed Stick Clear Stick Antiperspirant. Unlike gels, Clear Stick goes on dry to keep you dry. And dry, clearly, is the whole idea. Speed Stick Clear Stick.
Great parts for these vehicles and yours. That's the Mopar difference.
Why is football played in a small arena so exciting? Because you have a better chance of sitting next to the quarterback's hot wife.
Hi.
Hey.
Hi. No.
San Jose and Milwaukee, Thursday at 8 on TNN.
TNN Sports coverage of the O'Reilly Shootout is being brought to you by Mopar, parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles from the dealerships that sell and install them. High above Heartland Park here in Topeka, Kansas, with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws at the O'Reilly Shootout. Bobby Gerald is standing by with a heat race winner.
That's right, Tim Schaefer. The car looked a little tight, but you were able to hang on.
Yeah, well, we got lucky on the start. Got ahead of Jack, you know. The place is going to be tough. It was tough to pass the last 2 nights, but now tonight she's got some moisture in the track. I think she's going to be really exciting later. We've got a great car and great sponsors, and they make my job a lot easier.
The 99 Rookie of the Year, Ralph, ready to go.
Got a win last year at Eldora, maybe another one here tonight. His only World of Outlaw win. Napa Heat number 4 getting ready to go. Here is your Mopar grid for that one. Dean Jacobs and Dale Blaney, who got his first ever Outlaw win this week. Paul McMahon, who's doing a great job in the Gum Out Series alongside of Australian Brooke Tatnell. Aaron Berryhill's brought out the 66 and Nick Smith in the 15S. Craig Kinzer, the son of the king, and Travis Mize in the 29M. Well, we said that Dale Blaney's Amoco 93 finally found his way to victory lane. He did. Farmer City, Illinois this past week. Dale Blaney rolled himself into victory lane, and this was a make-or-break kind of year for Dale Blaney. He has chosen a lot of the stuff that he wanted to do with this team, said he's going to do it his way. His brother trusted him. Dave gave him the car and the power to do what he wanted to do with it, and Dale is proving that it wasn't a bad choice by big brother Dave.
Seems like once you get that first one, hopefully they'll start coming easier now.
He's been saying all year, we're there, we're just about there, we're ready to go. And boy, he wasn't kidding. They have found their way to victory lane. And once you get that win, as you go on board with Dean Jacobs, the second, third, and fourth wins tend to come along sometimes.
We've said that word confidence so many times. And, man, when you win that first one, it just, your confidence level is so much higher. You know you can beat these guys.
Ellie beats him to turn 1. On board with Jacobs, chasing him in the Super 8 Motel onboard camera.
Dean did the same thing a lot of them did as the yellow come out. They didn't like that start. I guess maybe Dale got too big a jump.
Well,
I think they're moving Dale Blaney back.
Oh.
Moving him back a row. Said he took off too early, so they're putting him back a row.
Boy, that could really crush your chances on a track like this.
Oh, absolutely, on this little tight racetrack for sure.
Bobby Gerald, what do you think of that?
Oh boy, I don't know. We just talked with Dale Blaney before the heat race, and he was saying how important it was going to be in the heat to get a good start, because he feels like there's so much riding on the dashes upcoming tonight with 20,000 to win on the tight racetrack that he really feels like the front couple of rows could take each other out, racing hard for the 20,000. So a winner of a heat race still has an outside shot at the back of one of those dashes. It looks like it's made it a whole lot tougher for Dale now.
Sure has, and he is this. You can see McMahon, and he's right alongside of him. As we go back to agree with Jacobs, who's going to scream right out into the lead. You can see Dean bouncing around in the car, the neck roll on underneath. Here comes Blaney up on the inside of the 15S and Nick Smith.
Wow, Smith must have gotten around Dale, and he had to fight his way back, because that's just puts Dale back into fourth where he started.
Paul McMahon in the U2, the blue car, runs in third. Blaney has that final transfer spot right now, but every spot you can get here tonight is going to be a big help.
Yep, Blaney's too tight right there. You saw him take that big push. Front end wouldn't turn as he went through the middle of the corner. A lot of cars seem to have trouble with that coming off. They're okay getting in the corner, but coming through the middle and off the corner, they're just too tight. Right there, he's doing it again. It looks like the 15 might be able to get under him.
On board, Dean Jacobs having a smooth run. The 8H.
Well, if your car's just not quite right, when you're out front by yourself like this, you can stand on that brake. I like to talk about, you can stab it, you can turn the car, you can move around on the racetrack and make that race car work. But when you're battling for position like these two guys are, you don't have that luxury of moving around too much on the racetrack. You got to go where they're not, and sometimes your race car doesn't like it there.
Boyd Smith is doing everything he can to make Dale Blaney's night a nightmare. Look at how slow McMahon has got to turn that thing around there.
The track's getting tighter, Ralph. These guys are getting tighter and tighter every lap. The cars are getting tighter, they're pushing more, and they're falling over on the right rear even more as this race goes on.
You can see Blaney really pushing, which means when he turns that wheel, the front end doesn't want to go, and it just slides right up the racetrack.
Yeah.
There's Brooke Tatnall running in second place, and Bobby, he's needed a good run in this Casey's General Store car.
Yeah, he does, and they've been utilizing a new shock. You know, everybody's going with these gas shocks, and they have a deal that Derek Cove out of Winston Cup ranks has come up with a new shock that Tatnall's team is using. And also on the side of the car this week, Balin Building is written on there as a sponsor. They get on by winning a raffle. They raffled off some signage on the side of the car for this weekend's Topeka action.
Checkered flag falls, and Blaney is just going to make it in fourth as he holds off Nick Smith. Well, that's a unique thing. Hold a raffle to get a sponsor. You can't just go out and attract one another way. You know, hold a raffle.
Yeah, and it works. I mean, these guys want to be on for this TV race, and there they are.
We might have to do a raffle for a race because we haven't gotten one in a while, have we? Stay with us. We're coming back.
Now brighten up everyone's day with the new wild and wacky singing, talking Louie the Largemouth Bass.
It sounds a bit fishy to me.
Watch every time Louie senses you're near. This amazing mounted fish leaps to life.
Took a bite out of a hook. That was my fatal mistake. Take me back.
With special motion-activated technology,
like
no one can cross his path without being noticed. Realistically detailed, his mouth moves in sync to music, too. So when he turns to face you, you'll think Louie is singing right to you.
Throw me in, and then a splish splash. I jumped back in the bath. Well, how was I to know there was a party going on? I was splishing and a splashing.
It's hilarious fun for everyone. Louis the largemouth bass makes the perfect gift.
I feel like a fish out of water.
Sure to delight both young and old. Fully animated with flapping tail, turning head, and moving mouth, Louis livens up any gathering. He's always the center of attention at every party.
Hey, I'm some catch. You try that again, pal, and you'll be sleeping with the fishes.
And watch little ones shriek with delight as they listen to this all-time favorite being sung by this lovable character. Louis the largemouth bass can be set to activate automatically by motion sensor or can be activated manually. The built-in easel lets you display him proudly, or your bass can be hung easily on any wall surface. With the extra mounting plaque, you can even customize this prize catch. So call now on this special TV offer and surprise your friends with Louis the largemouth bass for only $19.99. Whether he's mouthing off,
face it, baby, you're hooked on me,
or singing a tune, everyone agrees this largemouth bass is quite a catch.
Call now to order Louis the largemouth bass for only $19.99 plus shipping. Have your credit card ready and call the number on your screen, or send check or money order to the address on your screen. Don't let Louis slip away. Call now to catch Louis the largemouth bass for only $19.99. Call now.
ECW Wrestling in the Thrill Zone on TNN. A match between ECW Titans empties the locker rooms.
But the war continues!
Raven is denied revenge by Scotty Antone. And the claws are out on the women of Extreme. Wrestling like you've never seen. ECW Wrestling, Friday at 8 Eastern, part of Thrill Zone Friday on TNN.
Jacobs has never won a Pennzoil World of Outlaw feature. In fact, his best finish was a 6th at Las Vegas last November, but he has found his way to victory lane in a Napa heat race here at Topeka, and he's with Dave Argerbright.
Well, Dean, let me ask you, is the track all that much different tonight than you've seen the previous two?
Yeah, last couple of nights it got real dry and slick, and tonight they dug it up quite a bit and got a lot of water on it. And it's real sticky, you know. We'd rather have a sticky racetrack, and it's going to make for a lot exciting race and more exciting race than we've had the last couple of nights. Been follow the leader, but right now I think you'll be able to move around and have a heck of a race.
Well, he's ready for a heck of a race, still closing in on that first feature win, Ralph.
He sure is, but he was a 1988 USAC Sprint Car champion a few years, quite a few years back. Hate to date you, Dean, but on board camera as the guys who have already pointed their way into tonight's A feature are out there getting their hot lap session in. You know, these guys put so many miles out on the highway. What do they do to entertain themselves when they're not racing?
I didn't relax much. We didn't ever go out of the way to stop and see a whole lot, but I guess as you get a little older now, we stop with the kids and Dana, and we sightsee a little bit. We got time, a lot more than what we used to.
Just sleep in a little bit, or lay in bed and watch some TV, or I don't know, there's a lot of things. Play PlayStation, or go for a jog, or whatever.
I spend my time with my family and my daughter, Shaylee. We go fishing or boating, or we go to the water, or whatever. We're trying to spend a lot more time together.
I like to go out and hit some golf balls and play a little golf with Johnny Herrera and Joey Saldana. We kind of, every once in a while, get out on the golf course and chase that little white ball around. You know, we ain't that good at it, but boy, we enjoy it.
Go out for a bike ride once in a while, maybe a jog once in a while, but a lot of times I just kick my feet back and relax.
I'm not a big nightlife guy on the road. I try and get my sleep, but I don't know, I'm a fan of the Olive Garden. Going out, I can't drink, so I keep that in mind as well.
Go to amusement parks, whatever, depending on where we're at and what state, just try to do a little bit of sightseeing and try to take advantage of being able to see the country and wherever we're at and try to see the sights.
There's not very many sushi bars out here, but sushi is my favorite food, and I don't know, a lot of times in the Midwest and the South, they don't have too good sushi. You got to go on the coast up in New York or LA, and so I get pretty good sushi out there.
Yeah, I go hunting car parts occasionally whenever I get time, 3 or 4 times a year.
Whenever I have any time off, I sure like to go play golf, and especially go play golf with my buddy Gary Selzy, take his money, because every time we play, I usually kick his tail pretty bad.
Doing something with my kids. They ride motorcycles and stuff, so I ride with them a little bit, or we do that kind of stuff.
Try to do the best I can, maybe surf the web on the internet or something, go to PC Joey's website, look for another computer, or do what I can, maybe go somewhere and find somewhere to eat, hang out for a little while. Outbacks are always good. On the Border Steakhouse, I like the Mexican food, but other than that, there's not much time off on the World Outlaw Tour.
No, there's not. What did you used to do to relax?
Boy, that's a tough one. We had the family in the motorhome and just tried to do family things. You stop at the mall, let Lori and the kids shop and do things, and find amusement parks, stuff like that. Try to make it fun for the kids.
World's largest ball of twine, that sort of thing, Doty.
Yeah.
If you think things get wild here, check out TNN Sunday night or go see the ball of twine with Doty. That's when you'll see professional rodeo riders experience the longest 8 seconds in sports. It's PBR Championship bull riding from New Orleans, Sunday night, 9 Eastern and Pacific, right here on TNN. Remind me not to commute to the airport with you. You're just too wild and crazy for me, Brad. There's the largest mud ball. Oh my, we're coming right back.
And now for something completely different. It's the Boogie Bass, the all-singing, all-dancing, talking fish. And that's no fish story.
Pretty fishy, what a lovely bass, pretty fishy. How can you walk past pretty fishy?
Mounted on this custom plaque, Boogie Bass is motion activated and comes to life when you walk by. He flaps his tail to the beat of great tunes and surprises everyone when he turns his head and sings you a song. Listen and watch as the Boogie Bass comes to life with hilarious song parodies like the classic Pretty Fishy.
Well, I'm the one you just can't throw back. That's why I'm hanging here on a plaque.
And the famous Limbo Rock.
Hang around just like a bum. I use batteries, not gas. I'm the funky Boogie Bass.
Manually activate Boogie Bass at the press of a button. He's a fast talker, too.
Hey, baby, how about a kiss? Hey, take a picture. It'll last longer. I'm just curious. Do you people ever dust?
Everyone loves the Boogie Bass. Hang him on a wall and watch the surprise on people's faces when he comes to life. Boogie Bass uses 4C batteries, and at 17 inches long, he's a great catch. Make sure you get the original Boogie Bass, the only fish that talks and sings original tunes. Supplies are limited due to huge demand. So call this number to order your Boogie Bass, and it's yours for just $19.99. That's right, you'll get your very own singing, dancing, talking fish for just $19.99. But call in the next 5 minutes, and as part of this special offer, we'll also include the Best of Boogie Bass CD, featuring 6 previously unheard fish tracks. That means you get the Boogie Bass and the CD, all for just $19.99. Here's how to order.
To order your Boogie Bass for only $19.99 plus shipping, have your credit card ready and call 1-800-528-3399. That's 1-800-528-3399. Call now.
This racetrack here at Heartland Park, Topeka, Kansas, as you take a look from the Martin Cat Power aerial platform, boy, you got a haul of mail down those straightaways, but when you get to the end in the corners, you got to be really good on the brakes, Dave Argabright.
That's right, Ralph. Sprint cars typically run 2 brake setups on the car, an inboard brake on the rear, which you saw right there, and one on the left front. The cars have also, many of the teams have added this brake right here. It's a right rear brake. They normally don't like to run those because they can't bring the right rear tire in tight enough if they need to set up the car that way. But this track is unusual. You've got to be able to whoa it up on the corners, so we're seeing 3 brake setups tonight, Ralph.
A lot of people are going to be messing around with those brakes all night long, Brett.
Well, yeah, and I talked earlier, some consider going to 4-wheel brakes, putting one on the right front.
Here's Chanock Dash number 1, row number 1 as we go on board the back of our pickup truck. There's Jeff Shepard's number 4, Jay. He's going to be on the inside of row number 1.
The Gum Out Series point leader at the moment.
Alongside in the black 1H, Donnie Crawford. Inside, row number 2, the wild child, Jack Haudenshoe. Brooke Tatnell from Australia in the Casey's General Store, number 6, a driver who's maybe starting to find a little bit of luck.
Yeah, it's a good night for him so far.
Shane Stewart's 9H on the inside of row number 3.
Shane's another guy that he ran well here last year, too.
Kevin Gobrook, Rookie of the Year points leader. Danny Wood in the Pepsi 21W outside of row number 3. Joey Saldana, one of the young and up-and-comers in the series in the white 17. And another one of the stars in the Gum Out series, Paul McMahon in the U2, 3rd in their points. Now, getting these cars set up for the racetrack can be a tricky thing. But Paul McMahon is one of the best at it, and he told us about some of the keys to setting up your sprint car to go racing.
we try to keep good notes of everything, and we got a computer in our motorhome that we keep all our records on from racetrack to racetrack. And when we go to new facilities, like going to Charlotte this year and Texas with the new racetracks, we won't have a lot of memory bank on anything because it's a new racetrack.
And those guys have been scratching their heads trying to get a handle on this one here tonight. And Brad, we were talking during the break about how as a little bit of sunlight's peeked through some of the clouds right now, there hasn't been a lot of sunlight on the racetrack all day today, and that could be helping our surface come around.
I think that's been the major key of why it's so heavy and sticky right now, because it's been cloudy and cool here all day long, and the sun has been baking that thing. So, but right now the sun's come out, and as these drivers enter turn 3, it's shining right in their eyes.
It's right behind turn number 4, so they're going to really be battling the sunlight as they come around 3 and 4. Green flag is waiting. And look at Crawford on the outside, get a good jump, and here comes Tatnall up the inside, the red 6. He'll take second. One car goes into the wall. That is Stewart in the 9H. That'll bring out a yellow, and that will absolutely kill the great run that Tatnall will put together because he didn't complete the pass at the end of the lap. Well, Shane's out of the car. They'll try to see if they can get it fixed and get him back out. And while they take care of that, we'll take care of some business, and we'll come back with more green flag racing from Heartland Park.
The same passion and dedication that drive our racing programs also drive the way we create parts for high-performance vehicles and high-performing vehicles like yours. Mopar, great parts for great vehicles on the track and in your driveway. That's the Mopar difference.
The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base.
There's only 3 turns at Pocono Raceway. Ask Andy, Winston Cup driver. 3 is enough. It's the Pocono 500, live Sunday at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific on TNN Sports.
No turn-downs. Everyone is approved this week at Joe Florek Volkswagen and Audi. Regardless of your credit history, everyone can drive away in a pre-owned car or truck. Plus, now's the time to trade in your current vehicle. Push, pull, tug, or tow your vehicle in and receive not 1, not 2, not 3, but $4,000 minimum towards the purchase of a quality pre-owned car or truck. Free hot dogs and soda every day. This is a limited time offer. No turn-downs. And guaranteed $4,000 minimum on your trade.
See store for details.
Only at Joe Florek Volkswagen and Audi. Flagstaff. 1-800-564-0006.
It's touched the lives of more than 1 million boys and girls over the last 75 years in Arizona. It's brought smiles and new experiences. It's taught skills and developed leaders. It's made friendships that have lasted a lifetime. Campfire, a tradition of lighting the way.
Well, Shane Stewart got put into the wall on the opening lap of this one. He is back behind the wall, and Dave Argerbright is with him.
Shane, what happened, and can you fix the race car?
I just got in there a little too hard and bicycled on me and got up on 2 wheels and kind of out of my control then. But the Holbrook car is going to be okay. We'll get it fixed for the future.
I see him grabbing a rear end. Is that the primary piece that's broken?
Right now, honestly, I don't know. I kind of looked over it real quick. I know it tore the tank off of it. As far as the rear end components, I don't know. We'll see here in just a minute.
Ralph?
All right, Dave, we're getting ready to get this one restarted here. Now, Jeff Shepard and Donnie Crawford will lead them to the green, and Crawford had got a great jump at the start of this one, and Tatnall had come flying up from the inside or outside of row number 2. Let's see if they can redo that again.
Yeah, Jeff Shepard learned something on that first one. He didn't let it happen again.
No, he didn't. But Crawford still did a pretty good job.
Yeah, Tatnall's the one back there banging on the steering wheel thinking, man, why'd that have to happen? Why'd that yellow have to come out?
Down the straightaway, hit the brakes, turn it, get back on the gas, and power around the corner. And you can see when you get on the gas how that front end comes way up, and as soon as you let off, boom, down the ground she comes.
Yep, that's why the nose wing is so critical, even on a short track, short corners like this, but those long straightaways, it'll lift the front wheels right off the ground if that nose wing's damaged or tore off any of these race cars.
And we can see that the guys have learned from heat number 1 when we saw Danny out there. His front wing, right front tire was so far up in the air. Now they're just skimming those tires around the ground. Yep. And look at Hod really struggling there on the upside.
So is Danny Wood there. The 21, a little bit too tight. Talked to Danny Wood. He's going back to Oklahoma City Wednesday for the next World of Outlaw race. That's home for him. And I asked him about going home, and they've got sponsor commitments. They thought they're going to get a couple days off. They're going to be busier than ever when they get down to Oklahoma City for Wednesday. Boy, but it's nice to go home to your home track. He wants to run good in front of his fans.
And this is the kind of track that can be really tough on a driver physically, too, because you're on and off the gas, you're getting pulled and dropped on those belts pretty good, too.
Well, the left leg, the quadriceps in your left leg gets so stiff and sore because you're using the brake so hard, especially after 3 nights of racing. It really works out that left leg.
And to work the brake, you're actually sliding the foot forward, whereas the gas pedal, you're moving up and down. So it's radically different than your passenger.
Yep, you sit upright in these cars like you're sitting at your kitchen table and your foot is straight down, and the brake pedal just slightly moves forward toward the firewall or the engine, and it can get pretty sore.
There's Crawford trying to chase Shepard down with 1 to go. There's a good look at watching Shepard work the wheel. Look at that. Love that shot. Checkered flag falls. Shepard beats him to the line. Crawford comes home second. Tatnall still gets a good run to third. Hodshield miraculously comes home in fourth. The sure didn't look like he was running that good. Danny Wood, Saldana, McMahon, and Stewart round out the field. And so those are the results of Chanock Dash number 1. Remember, all these cars have already transferred to the A-Main. Basically, they were racing for their starting position in that A-Main, which you'll see here in a little while. Next Thursday night, there's more arena football on TNN. See if the Milwaukee Mustangs can slow down the San Jose SaberCats. It's a critical game for San Jose. Don't miss all the hard hits next Thursday night at 8 Eastern and Pacific right here on TNN. Well, Chanock Dash number 2 is coming up. Then we've got a B feature and, of course, the A feature still to go here at the O'Reilly Shootout.
Hi, I'm Smitty. I guess you could call me a plethora of information. For this, you're gonna need a blower, maybe a vac. Customers look at me as the answer guy. If they've got a question, they need an answer, they come to me. All you need here is a cordless push mower. I'm gonna give you everything you need to take care of your yard. Tractor, definitely the lawn tractor. We've got everything you could possibly imagine in power tools, all kinds of stuff. String trimmer. I'm basically here to make sure the customer gets what he needs for the job.
The Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all Cornell 808 35,000-mile tires, 4 for $99. Futura 855 55,000-mile tires, 4 for $129. Or get our Futura 70,000-mile tires, all sizes, 4 for only $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
Champions agree. Prolong engine treatment has no equal in the world.
You know, I can't drive around town at over 300 miles per hour, but I still put my personal vehicles under a lot of stress. I count on Prolong for the ultimate in protection and performance.
The youngsters have used Prolong off the track for years because we know it works.
Nothing lubricates like Prolong. Its patented technology treats the engine, not just the oil.
Prolong's a super lubricant. It bonds to the metal in your car's engines and helps reduce friction. There's nothing else like it.
I believe in Prolong. At home, I use it in every engine I have.
Prolong's great stuff. In fact, it's so superior to other engine treatments that they offer a lifetime limited product warranty for your engine.
But if you want the warranty, you have to call Prolong.
Call today and get the details on the lifetime warranty.
Find out how using Prolong can help save you money. Call the number on your screen now. Prolong, no equal in the world.
Well, while those of us here on the TNN crew are eating hot dogs and watching sprint car races, our buddy Steve Evans, who is not here with us, is enjoying champagne and crepes along the Mulsanne Strait at Le Mans in France, watching the 24 hours. Good work if you can get it, huh, Evans? Here's Dave Argerbright with Jeff Shepard.
Jeff, how important was that restart, getting the second chance?
I'd say the restart was the best thing for us because I got stuck down in the slime on that first start, and I got slipped up off the bottom, and I guess Crawford got by me. But I was glad to see, I hate to see what happened to Shane Stewart, but I was glad to see that restart because it helped us out a bunch.
Is it going to be hard to pass tonight?
Yeah, I think it's going to be harder to pass than it has been the last couple of nights. It's been slick, taking rubber, but anytime it's got as much moisture as there is out there right now, it's real hard to pass.
Ralph, looks like the starting position is going to be critical tonight.
And a happy Father's Day to his dad. You can see him say there as we get ready for Chanock Dash number 2. You're right, Dave. It is going to be very, very tricky out there. Let's show you the lineup for Dash number 2. Portland, Oregon. Boy, that was a long tow. And here is your onboard as we take a look at the starting grid. On the inside of row number 1, Craig Delansky, top point in the guy coming into tonight's racing action. The Luxair number 2 of Andy Hillenberg will start on the outside alongside of him. Steve Kinzer's got the Quaker State number 11 inside of row number 2. Could it be the year for a 16th championship? Sammy Swindell, the 3-time champ, the Bristol winner, on the outside of that row. Danny Lasowski trying to find his rhythm once again. Won the heat earlier tonight. He'll be on the inside of row number 3 with another heat winner alongside of him, Mark Kinzer, the Mopar. Was that smoke really nothing to worry about? We'll find out. Tim Schaefer, he ran great in the heat race. He'll be on the inside of row number 4. And Dean Jacobs, the other heat race winner, on the outside of that row.
Last night, Hotchkiss set a track record of 16-1, and Steve and Sammy, when they hot lapped, were turning 14 9s and 15 1s.
There is Steve Kinzer, the 15-time World of Outlaw champion. Now, Thursday night in the A feature wasn't so good for the champ. Watch as he gets on the outside of Tapnell. They come together, and then Mark gets in there as well and loses the nose of the Mopar car, courtesy of cousin Steve.
Well, again, Steve, very, very fortunate and skilled in that incident, because had he stopped, he'd had to go to the tail. He never lost a position, and it took Mark Kinzer, knocked the nose wing off, and it put him to the tail.
There's the onboard camera with Andy Hillenberg. And they also talk about racing luck, as we have an onboard with Delansky as well. The difference between that and what happened to Lasowski was Danny's engine died.
Steve kept running.
Steve's kept his running.
Exactly.
That can make the difference in a championship season. Here we go. Chanock Dash underway. Bumping and banging as they come to the green. And Sammy Swindell has lost the front wing. And he's got big problems.
Well,
and you
axle.
can see the left front tire is off. And he is not going to be happy. Remember, he started right alongside his arch nemesis, the king, Steve Kinzer.
Well,
Can't wait to see this replay.
Yeah, Steve had trouble on the start, pushed a little bit. But I think, I don't think that Steve got into him. I think they just got a little squirrely right there. We're going to see it.
Looks like Sammy kind of went into him.
Yep. Sammy's going to say that Steve came up a little bit, which he probably did, but look at that. Steve Kinzer.
With right flat, right rear.
But Sammy was too tight doing that wheel. He had the left front up, not a lot of control at that point, and they just got together.
So probably really a combination of a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Steve probably came up a little bit. Sammy might be a little too tight.
But you talk to Steve, it's going to be Sammy's fault. Talk to Sammy, it's going to be Steve's fault.
Of course. But hey, there's 18 championships between the two of them, you know? What are you going to do? Oh, here's a look at it again. Sometimes even the racing luck can bite the best in the business.
With all that stuff you carry around, ever had trouble finding the one thing you need? Like an important receipt or your bank card. Now you can find all your cards and receipts instantly with the amazing Magic Wallet. Is your wallet bursting at the seams? Do you resort to this? You need the Magic Wallet. The Magic Wallet is thin, compact, good-looking, and made of top-quality leather. But watch closely, because you're about to see what makes the Magic Wallet different than any other. Simply put your cash or a receipt inside, close the wallet, and presto, it's magically grabbed and held tight under the strong nylon straps. The Magic Wallet instantly grabs parking stubs, business cards, credit card receipts, and more, so you'll know just where to find them later. But that's not all. These outside pockets hold all your credit cards, driver's license, and more conveniently and securely. And the Magic Wallet still stays thin and streamlined, so it fits easily in your shirt pocket, pants pocket, evening bag, anywhere. The Magic Wallet is handsome, convenient, and fun. Your friends will love it. There's no other wallet like it. It's magic. Old-fashioned wallets and money clips made of high-quality leather like the Magic Wallet can cost $40, $80, even $100. Yet they can't do this. But the genuine leather Magic Wallet costs just $14.95. Plus, you'll get a special free bonus when you call now. Our exclusive auto wallet to hold and organize all your car registration and insurance papers. It's yours free when you order Magic Wallet now. Magic Wallets make great gifts. Call within the next 10 minutes and get 2 for just $19.95. You save $9.95 and get an auto wallet free. Here's how to order.
Call 1-800-641-9090 now to get the amazing Magic Wallet at the special TV price of just $14.95 and get the auto wallet free. Or get 2 Magic Wallets for just $19.95 and save even more. Satisfaction guaranteed or your money back. Call now 1-800-641-9090. That's 1-800-641-9090.
Hey, what do you guys want to do?
Ask the guy with the big hand. He was right last time.
Try the double reverse option pass. You can't miss.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
What do you guys think?
I tell you, hey, let's ask my wife. Hey, baby.
Did you guys make a good decision?
Hey, easy. My kid is right there.
Close, real close. San Jose and Milwaukee, Thursday at 8 on TNN.
There's Steve Kinzer, and boy, I'm telling you, he has elbows up all this year, and he has been talking nonstop about how he is going to go get himself a 16th championship with the World of Outlaws. There's no kidding. Steve is pumped.
You always work on your driving. I think a lot of it comes down to getting your race team the car the way you want it. And you got to make a driver feel confident, and when a driver gets confidence in his driving, along with his race team, it makes a tremendous difference. And I think right now that's what we got to do is we got to work on everybody's confidence a little more than what we got right now.
One car is missing from the field as it's rolling around under yellow, and it's 3-time World of Outlaw champ Sammy Swindell. Look at some of Tim Schaefer's crew over there helping out as they try to get Sammy back out there.
Well, as we talked about earlier, the rule is they get 2 laps to try to change a tire, fix whatever they can, and I don't think they can get this fixed within the 2-lap limit. I didn't really see all the damage, but it looked pretty severe to try to, if they can just put a radius rod on. If they're trying to change the front axle, they can't get it done.
Dean Jacobs providing the onboard camera look right there. What do you think of Steve Kinzer, Brad? I mean, you've raced against him. How has his driving style changed? Is he even tougher now than he was before?
Well, that segment about his confidence, I've never met a more confident guy in my life, but, about what he can do in a race car.
But he's always been that way, right?
Yeah, exactly. But, he knows who he is. He knows how many races he's won, and he knows these guys have to beat him. He's not by any means over the hill yet, and still winning a lot of races. And as he said, sometimes you just take what you can get on the racetrack because he's always got that championship in mind.
Bobby Gerald, what do you think about Andy Hillenberg tonight?
Well, Andy Hillenberg, of course, is known for being the Iron Man of the World of Outlaws. He had a streak in last year at well over 500 straight A-main event wins. But one thing about Andy, he has been a very underrated tight track race driver. Keep in mind, he has 2 wins in the Gold Cup at Chico, California, a tight little quarter mile. And, of course, we know what he did here last year at Heartland Park. So Andy Hillenberg and Craig Delansky here on this start, guys, is going to be fun going into turn 1.
And Sammy is not going to make the call for the restart. On board with Craig Delansky, that red number 7, the Polydome car, has a camera mounted in it. Looking back at Lasowski, we go green. And he'll lead him off at turn number 2 with Hillenberg chasing Kinzer and Lasowski right behind them, the top 4.
Boy, one thing I noticed in that shot that these guys have really lowered the left rear corners of the car. It looks like softened the suspension to get the car down so it'll turn the corner.
Steve Kinzer is dead last. Now, how far does he get through? There goes Schaefer. Now, can he get Jacobs in front of him? No, he's all the way back to last again as Schaefer comes right back around.
Oh, but he should get by him if Schaefer hit that rut and pushed. Racetrack's still really sticky getting into the corners.
And one up along the walls. That's Sammy trying to roll out there. Yeah. Sammy's trying to roll out onto the track. Maybe get a few practice laps in, Brad?
Well, he's going to
set up.
I don't really know. That's
and
the
there's yellows out because there's a push truck out as well.
Boy, this is going to be a little controversial. They pushed Sammy out under green flag conditions and caused the yellow. And you can see the World of Outlaw official shaking his head there.
Now, I'm not so sure what happened there. Because Woody's over talking to the push truck guy, and I'm wondering if Sammy was telling him, push me off, and they're black flagging Sammy.
Yep. They're saying you should know better than that. You never push out under green flag conditions. And I'll bet that's not the most popular push truck driver in the pits tonight now either.
Probably not. Well, I mean, Sammy can be a fairly convincing guy. And if you're a push truck driver and 3-time World of Outlaw champion is telling you to push me now, you know.
Yep. And the crew, everybody standing there yelling at you, go, go,
It's
go.
a high-pressured situation. You don't want to be hurting the guy either, but you just don't know any better.
Well, if there was no World of Outlaw official near the car, then the push truck driver probably didn't know that there wasn't a yellow on the track and went ahead and pushed him out. And little did he know when he got out there in his Jeep, he's in the middle of the racetrack under green.
Not a good spot to be. Bobby Gerald.
Hey, I'm down here in the infield, so we just spoke with the driver of the Workin' Woody, Art Melees, and asked him what happened. He said that the push truck did not have clearance from World of Outlaw officials to push Sammy. Apparently somebody told him to go, and he went.
There's a lot of noise and confusion going on back there, but that's not what Craig Delancey's going to want to hear as we get set to go back to green. Look at Mark Kinzer's car really leaning over the third one in line.
This is amazing. I'll tell you, these guys, they got to be just shaking their head. They've been trying for 2 days to get their cars tight enough to get off the corner, and now all of a sudden they can't get them loose enough. What I mean loose enough, that they got to get the back of the car to slide out from under a little bit so they can turn the corner.
Look at this shot, Fred. Oh, look at that. Schaefer picking the wheels up. Jacobs right behind him, and Steve Kinzer in dead last trying to get around him. Oh, banging on each other, leaning on each other, anything to get that car to turn. Delansky really working that wheel. Look at the King and Jacobs sky in the front wheels again.
Yet every once in a while you see that left front wheel lock up. Oh, Steve.
That was no man's land up there, huh?
And you can just see how sticky it is and how good the racetrack is up there. He actually had daylight under his lefter, I think.
That's also telling you about how desperate he is in this race. He's going where nobody else has gone all night. Yep. He's looking for anything.
Well, you can't pass, but I did notice something there in that last shot. Look how tight. Down in the other end, it actually getting pretty slick on the very, very bottom. So you talk about a driver's having a handful in a physical workout. When it's slick on the bottom and heavy on the top, that really works you hard.
Checkered flag for Craig Delansky. Andy Hillenberg is second. Mark Kinzer is third. Lasowski comes home fourth. Schaefer, Dean Jacobs, and the King, Steve Kinzer, is going to have a little bit of work to do, and he's going to be racking his brain with his crew trying to figure out what he's got to do to get that Quaker State car to work. Delansky, I told you at the beginning of the show, watch out. He's going to be strong, and guess what? He just won the Chanock Dash. He's going to start inside row number 1, 8 feature. He's going to be tough.
He will. Starting on the pole, the way his race car looks right now, he will be tough.
And you coast back with Dean Jacobs to Junior Holbrook's pit, and they go to work on him. Craig Delansky will pull off with the Polydome car on the front straightaway to get introduced to the crowd as he is the winner of the big Chanock Dash here tonight. And he's going to get that prime starting spot in the A feature. And Bobby, I'm telling you, he's going to be a strong one tonight.
Yes, he is. He's the high point man through the first 2 nights. So, Craig, what about this racetrack is bringing out the best in you?
I tell you what, it's totally different than the last 2 nights we've been running here. I definitely got this place pretty red and racy, so hopefully we can keep this Polydome Caravan car up front tonight.
You won that one by a straightaway, but of course in the feature you're going to have to deal with traffic. What happens then?
Well, it's going to be tough to deal with traffic. I mean, this place is tight and it's hard to get through the corners. So, hopefully we make the right choices with the race car and stay loose enough here so we can operate and, hopefully we'll keep up there.
Craig Delansky, a top 3 competitor in the Gum Out Series, making a big-time showing here tonight with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws.
Has one career Pennzoil World of Outlaw win at Paris, California last year. All right, Dr. Doty. What are we going to talk about tonight? We've had a lot of people writing in questions for you on the web. Here's one from Bill Sigmund out of West Virginia. Is there a weight rule for World of Outlaw sprint cars?
Well, that's a controversial question because At this point, no. I thought I was convinced that they needed one. I talked to a lot of people that said basically the genie's out of the bottle, that if they go to a weight rule, they're still going to buy all these lightweight pieces and put the weight where they want it and move the weight around. It's really not going to save them any money. So no, at this point there is no weight rule, and it doesn't look like there will be in the near future.
It's not just a question of how much weight, but where the weight is positioned on the car as well.
Right. You know, again, if they can move it around a little bit, and if they even go to rule no bolt on, you can put heavy components in certain areas of the race car to help the handling of the car.
And it's also not going to necessarily cut down on the cost of lightweight parts in the engine, for example.
Right, because they're still going to put them in there.
Not an easy one to fix. We'll keep you updated on it. Dr. Doty, get on the web and ask him your questions. We'll be right back to the O'Reilly Shootout.
Presenting the complete state quarter collection of the 20th century, presented in beautiful, vibrant colors and available only from the American Historic Society. The new state quarters are the coins everyone's collecting. In this historic program, our country will issue 5 state quarters a year for 10 years. Each state will be minted for only 10 weeks and never minted again. The first 5 quarters minted in 1999 are quickly disappearing as Americans rush to hoard these prized coins. And with good reason. These first 5 were minted in only half the quantity as the newer states. Because they will never be minted again, their value could grow dramatically. And as the years go on, they could become very difficult to find. But you can have all 5, Delaware, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Georgia, and Connecticut in brilliant uncirculated condition and magnificently colorized for each state's unique design. And to display them, our specially designed United States map with individual slots for each state's quarter. This complete set is the perfect collectible for yourself and a great gift for someone special. This collection is not available in any store, but through this special television offer is yours for only $19.95. Call now and we'll include our 50-state fax book filled with exciting information about each state. Due to overwhelming demand for these quarters, this is a limited offer for a limited time. You must act now to ensure you get your complete 20th century colorized state quarter collection. But wait, order within the next 10 minutes and we'll include a special bonus, the first quarter of the year 2000. That's right, the Massachusetts state quarter, also presented in beautiful, vibrant color, absolutely free. To order your complete 20th century quarter collection, display map, and free 50 states fax book, have your credit card ready and call our toll-free number. Order within the next 10 minutes and you'll also get the Massachusetts quarter absolutely free. Call now.
Well, this little unique racetrack that you're taking a look at from our Martin Cat Power aerial platform is provided for some pretty interesting racing. And, you know, dealing with the different personalities in our series can be pretty interesting as well, especially when they come from the land down under, Dave.
That's right. This is the Australian Minute. I'm with Brooke Tatnell and Wade Onger, who's a track announcer in Australia. I got to ask you, what exactly does G'day mate mean? Come on.
Oh, Dave, come on. We've been confusing Americans for years. So we have to tell you our special secrets? G'day means hello, and mate means we can't, unfortunately, remember your name.
Brooke, how you feel about this weekend? Is your car running well?
Hey, we've been a little bit how's your father last night. We were out to lunch, but tonight we haven't been too bad and need to make a few changes, and Bob's your uncle, but we'll be on the pace and just keep working from there. This crew's been working like a lizard drinking.
He's playing with me. What did he say?
He's going pretty good, Dave.
We saw some smoke from your car, Brooke. Should we be concerned about that?
No, the boys were a little hungry and they just wanted to throw a shrimp on the barbie.
See, now even I know that one. I know you're playing with me on that one. These guys, one thing the Australians know how to do, they know how to have fun and race. Ralph?
That they do. I love seeing Wade when he comes over. He's going to be around with us for a while. He's going to go see a little racing, catch a couple of KISS shows. Yeah, he's going to be around with us for a while. Hey, B Feature is in the lineup. And here's what we've got coming your way with the B Feature. And if you're looking for action on Wednesday night, you've come to the right place. TNN has this great lineup of shows: Dead Man's Gun, 18 Wheels of Justice, and The Magnificent Seven. It's a whole night of action every Wednesday right here on TNN's Action Wednesday. Well, those B Feature cars are rolling out, so we'll give you that lineup when we come right back. We're going to take care of a little bit more business while they get the rest of the cars pushed off. Stay with us. We're coming back with the B Feature from the O'Reilly Shootout at Heartland Park.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all Cornell 808 35,000-mile tires, 4 for $99. Futura 855 55,000-mile tires, 4 for $129. Or get our Futura 70,000-mile tires, all sizes, 4 for only $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
They're not coming out. We're going in to get them. You're always hot. You're always sweating. It's a cat and mouse game.
We asked some of the hottest detectives on the street to switch antiperspirant.
Degree Ultra Dry.
Body heat activated.
Does this work?
When your body heat rises, Degree's powerful Ultra Dry form releases extra protection when you need it most.
When the pressure is on, the heat is on, Degree kept up with me. It kept me dry. Degree kicks butt.
Degree Ultra Dry.
That stuff kicks in and takes care of business.
Your body heat turns it on.
Book 'em.
Yeah, show me the money, I'm telling you.
It's the age-old test of man against beast. Don't miss Championship Bull Riding from New Orleans. Sunday night at 9 Eastern and Pacific on TNN.
Where can you save more than $500 in taxes on your next vehicle purchase? Right here in the heart of the Verde Valley, where you pay the lowest sales tax rate in Arizona. Just 5 minutes off I-17. No dealer in Arizona can beat Steve Corey's price on new Buicks, Pontiacs, or GMC trucks.
Pontiac and GMC.
Home of the no city sales tax.
Marks, and we sell the most dependable, long-lasting trucks on the road today. Our Chevy trucks are built rugged to take what northern Arizona has to offer. Whether it be the snow of winter, the heat of the summer, or the mud in the rainy season, Terrell Markson has the truck for you. And the best part is there's no pressure and no hype. So come by for a test drive today at Terrell Markson, located at 1118 West Highway 66 in Flagstaff. That's Terrell Markson Chevrolet Oldsmobile Cadillac. Real hometown value.
Well, beautiful sunset here tonight. There had been a big threat of rain in the area, but it looks like the dirt track racing gods are smiling down on us right now, and we're going to get this one in. B-feature lineup, here we go. Jason Myers and Brad Furr, row 1. Darren Pittman and Stevie Smith in row 2. Barry Hill and Paulus. Laney and Schatz in row 4. Smith and Christy Passmore in row 5 and row 1A. Brian Carlson and Craig Kinzer, that is Steve's son, in row 6 and the 14th. Rounding out the field. There is Stevie Smith. And we had the opportunity to spend a little time talking with Stevie about setups. Now, depending on the type of car you run, will depend on what kind of setup you have to give it.
We're running a coil car, so he's basically doing most of the setup on that. I watch the track and give my opinion, and the final decision was a team effort. We decide together, so we do it that way. That's the way we elect to do it. And you know, it's done differently from team to team. That's the way we do ours.
There is Pittman and Smith right alongside of each other, and it really does depend on the type of car that you have is going to make a difference on your setup.
Yeah, I asked the same thing to Steve Sr. about the setup, and they don't go to a lot of other people to ask questions anyway. They're on their own anyway.
There is a 14M of Jason Myers, and this Clovis, California driver, what's he going to get here, Bobby? Is he going to get this one, you think?
Well, he's got a good shot because he's starting on the front row, right next to his buddy Brad Furr from California. Last night, Myers was in the top 10 here at this racetrack. Check out his heroes, guys. Jay Springsteen and Jeff Gordon are the guys that he lists as his heroes. Jay Springsteen, remember him from the motorcycle wrecks?
Oh, absolutely. One of the greatest ever to swing a leg over a Harley. Dirt track racer, Grand National champ. And Gordon, I've heard of him.
Jason, he's having a good weekend. He's running really well the last couple of nights. A couple guys back there doing wheelies. This old sticky racetrack still getting to him.
A couple of NARC competitors leading this one as Furr is out in front of Myers. The Northern Auto Racing Club running throughout Northern California, which is where these two drivers have come from. Now there's Schatz in that Parker Store yellow 15, and Brad, he still cannot get himself to go anywhere. He's chasing Nick Smith in the red 15S.
Well, you heard him say earlier in his interview that, you know, he even says he's been struggling so bad and they've been running so bad that he's not sure he's driving the race car. He just needs to do something to get his confidence back.
That's for 7.
In the B main.
And you and I were talking talking about it earlier. Sometimes you just start overthinking, start questioning everything.
Over-engineering it. You just sometimes got to drive the race car and forget about what it feels like and trying to get it perfect and just set up and drive the race car. If he can really concentrate and focus on, hey, I've won a lot of races in my career, 6 in a row in Australia, I can get the job done.
St. Joseph, Missouri's Kim Kennedy out of this one. Furr already into lap traffic. He's got the 99, just a little contact between Schatz and Smith, and Schatz still going after him. Yeah, he had shortened up that throttle linkage. Remember, we talked, or actually lengthened it. And he thought that was going to make the difference. It helped him run really well at Charlotte.
Oh, boy.
Well, that was a lot of speed, Brad. And he's going to go right up against the wall. Furr carried too much speed in there. And that is going to cost him as he sits now up along the wall. Oh, boy, that thing just bicycled right down in 3 and 4.
And we saw Berryhill do the same thing in the Trop Arctic 66. There's a little bit of a rut. Now, it's funny because these guys were saying, you heard them say that they didn't like to pass and it was too slick, and now it's almost too sticky and they can't pass. And it is narrow groove right around from the middle to the bottom. And here it is as he goes into turn 3.
He was working the 99 of Jeschke.
Okay, he's in good shape right there, but watch the right rear bang on that berm, that cushion right there, and his sticky stuff, and up it goes. That's called bicycling. He did a nice job saving it, but it comes down and bounces, though.
Doesn't look like there's a whole lot of damage. It should land right in your lap.
The camera's getting a lot of work out tonight.
Yeah, thank goodness it's not manned. Wow. Well, Brad Furr a little frustrated. Maybe he's just pushing too hard to get rid of that lap car.
That's exactly what happened. Frustrated because he couldn't get around him, and he just went in there a little too hard.
This is the kind of racetrack that takes tons and tons of patience.
Hi, I'm Smitty. I guess you could call me a plethora of information. For this, you're gonna need a blower, maybe a vac. Customers look at me as the answer guy. If they've got a question, they need an answer, they come to me. All you need here is a cordless push mower. I'm gonna give you everything you need to take care of your yard. Tractor, definitely the lawn tractor. We've got everything you could possibly imagine in power tools, all kinds of stuff. String trimmer. I'm basically here to make sure the customer gets what he needs for the job.
The Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
The Mopar difference.
Still got athlete's foot, wincing from the itching, yearning to stop the burning?
Don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max. It's got a powerful new ingredient others don't have, so it takes fewer applications to cure your athlete's foot. In fact, 1 tube of Desenex Max has more curing power than 3 of these guys. Or these guys.
Athlete's foot, don't take it anymore.
Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max.
When you're a big-time racer, it's just fame, fortune, and beautiful women. A pretty cool package. Almost as cool as the Luxair 2000 Performance Package. Get up to $200 cash back. Or make no payments and pay no interest for 6 months. Okay, so it's not fame and beautiful women, but when you save a small fortune, who knows where it'll lead? Offer ends June 30th, so find your Luxair dealer fast at 1-800-LUXAIRE.
We're back for the restart with the B feature. Coming to the green, Jason Myers will lead them down into turn 1. Stevie Smith right behind him in the Ingersoll Rand number 19, the black car, and the blue 3 is Darren Pittman in 3rd. Here comes Brian Polish in the 28. That is a fight for 6th position with Nick Smith in the red 15S and Aaron Berryhill just in front of him in the Trop Arctic 66.
So Brian Polish in 20, that's called getting over on the right front, man. When that thing goes in there, dips on the right front like that, and it picks the left rear up. That's
big time contact.
Lucky they got through that without getting turned around and Donnie Schatz getting involved, who was right behind it.
Well, the thing about this, Brad, is you never know where that hole's going to open up, and when it does, you got to be on the gas to squirt through.
Yep, absolutely. Stay as close as you can. Take that chance, because you can't wait as Brian
like
gets
there.
through.
And he makes it work. Now Schatz trying to make it happen in the yellow 15.
Boy, the racing groove is very, very, very narrow right now. That from the middle down, it's a little bit dry and slick, but boy, they get up off of that. and it's too heavy.
Everything Brian gained, he lost. As Smith got back around him, he comes right back and takes it away.
Yeah, battle for 5th and 6th back there. Not a transfer spot, but they got to get everything they can. And Donnie Schatz about does the same thing that Brad Furr did.
That's not going to help him.
Yeah, I think.
Or his confidence.
I think he said at that point, look, I've still got a race car. I've got the wings still straight. I think we've had enough.
And there is Craig Kinzer. As one car is on the inside of turn number 2, on the exit of turn number 2. That is the 1A of Christy Passmore out of Pryor, Oklahoma. There she sits. And Joey Saldana watching. Well, while they get Christy off the wall, and Schatz with the helmet off, going back to the transporter. We will come back to Topeka in just a minute to wrap up the B feature.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all Cornell 808 35,000-mile tires, 4 for $99. Futura 855 55,000-mile tires, 4 for $129. Or get our Futura 70,000-mile tires, all sizes, 4 for only $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us. People love us.
The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base.
Hey. What do you guys want to do?
Ask the guy with the big hand. He was right last time.
Try the double reverse option pass. You can't miss. All right, thanks. Yeah. What do you guys think?
I tell you. Hey. Let's ask my wife. Hey, baby.
Didn't you guys make a good decision?
Hey, easy. My kid is right there.
Close, real close. San Jose and Milwaukee, Thursday at 8 on TNN.
Donnie Schatz has just not had a good night here in Heartland Park, Topeka. Bobby Gerald is standing by with him.
Well, here he is. He's got parts in hand now because not only does he have to drive it, he has to work on the thing. And Donnie, I know this is a struggle. Why'd you pull in?
Oh, I just can't pass. It's a one-lane track. I'm tight. I've been fighting this car all weekend trying to get it tight enough, and tonight it's a whole different racetrack. I guess got to go back to the drawing board and try something.
In the trailer or a provisional for the main event?
I guess we're going to take a provisional. I don't know what's going to do us, but if they give us one, we're going to take it and try something.
All right, Ralph.
You know, Brad, there's been a lot of crew movement in the garage area with the Outlaws as well lately. A lot of people shuffling around.
It's that time of year when the weather gets hot, some of the tempers get hot, heated up, and some changes have gone on in the last couple of weeks.
Green flag, and we're back underway. Jason Myers continues to lead in the red 14. Stevie Smith doesn't seem to be able to close in at all either in that black 19.
Not at all. See, the corner speeds are slow enough on the racetrack that's what's hooking these cars. A lot of times on a heavy racetrack, you can carry enough speed that you can kind of, as we saw Donnie Schatz do in Las Vegas, that it's heavy and rough, you actually blast over the top of the hole. But the corner speeds are so slow, the right rear's hooking so tight, it's getting them in trouble.
Back to the transfer spot area, you can see Berry Hill as a checkered flag comes out. The Trop Arctic 66 will finish in 4th. And Myers will get the win in the B feature.
Like I said earlier, he's been running good all week here at Topeka, so maybe they're starting to find something there and come in on their own there on that car too.
4 cars will go straight to the A. Myers, Smith, Pittman, and Berry Hill. Brian Paulus and the rest will be done for the final night here in Heartland Park. Well, we've got one race left to go, the O'Reilly Shootout. So that A feature will be getting lined up, and we'll have it for you from Heartland Park, coming right back on TNN Sports.
That's the Mopar difference. When you're a big-time racer, it's just fame, fortune, and beautiful women. A pretty cool package. Almost as cool as the Luxair 2000 Performance Package. Get up to $200 cash back. Or make no payments and pay no interest for 6 months. Okay, so it's not fame and beautiful women, but when you save a small fortune, who knows where it'll lead? Offer ends June 30th, so find your Luxair dealer fast at 1-800-LUXAIRE.
Whatever life throws your way, you gotta be ready. No sweat. You got Speed Stick Clear Stick Antiperspirant. Unlike gels, Clear Stick goes on dry to keep you dry. And dry, clearly, is the whole idea. Speed Stick Clear Stick.
There's only 3 turns at Pocono Raceway. Ask Andy, Winston Cup driver. 3 is enough. It's the Pocono 500, live Sunday at 1 Eastern, 10 Pacific on TNN Sports. Saturday nights in June, TNN is going to take you to the races. You'll see the stars shine bright when they battle under the lights, featuring the NASCAR Busch Grand National Series, the Pennzoil World of Outlaws, and the American Speed Association. It's fireworks that'll last till July. Don't miss Saturday night at the races, a prime-time race every Saturday night, all this month on TNN Sports.
Promotional consideration provided for and a fee paid by this special offer from Diamond Dew.
If you like gritty in-your-face excitement, then you've got to have Sling and Dirt, the newest World of Outlaws action-packed home video. Call 1-800-428-6993 to get wheel-to-wheel action and the best tumbles, stumbles, and crashes. Dirt's flying as the Wing Warriors push it to the limit and beyond. Call 1-800-428-6993 to own Sling and Dirt for only $14.95. There's never been so much outlaw action, so call and order your copy now. That's Sling and Dirt. Call now or order online at DiamondPeteSports.com, your interactive pit pass.
Well, we're getting close to the start of the A feature here at the O'Reilly Shootout at Heartland Park. But before we get the A feature cars out, we got to meet the winner of the B. Dave Argerbright.
Well, Ralph, he's got the advantage of winning the most recent race here, the B main. But Jason Myers, can you loosen the car up enough for a track this tight?
Well, you know, we're from California where you got places like Chico and stuff, and we're kind of used to this. But, you know, it's fierce tight out there. It's been slick and a little rubber down all week. And I don't know what they've done to keep the moisture in it tonight, but it's tight. And we had it pretty loose there, and we've got some other tricks that we're going to try, and hopefully we can get it loose enough. You know, it's going to take a lot of horsepower. A good down horsepower is going to help pull us out of that tonight. And, you know, just get a maximum car loose enough and see if we can get it to roll through the corner and get down the straightaway.
Well, they're struggling with the car to set it up. Bobby Gerald?
Well, here's Joey Saldana. Is going to be starting deep in the feature tonight. And Joey, with all those cars out there on this tight little track, what are you thinking about before the green?
Well, right now, I mean, the way it's been looking, you just got to stay out of trouble. I mean, you know, a guy can hit a rut wrong and bounce into you, and you're at the mercy of the racetrack, and you're at the mercy of the other drivers. So we got to start about 17th. So, you know, we made every race this week, and we've been struggling. So hopefully we can get 30 strong laps in and put a good showing in for National Roadside Assistance and Himsall.
All right. Wish you good luck. Joey Saldana getting ready to go. He changed his wing, Ralph, right before the start of the feature. He said he just wanted to put an older wing on because he thought it'd get dinged up.
Well, also the way the air flows over those wings can make a difference in whether you can tighten or loosen that car. Each top wing can be a little different.
Yeah, but usually the racing wings are all the same. They have a qualifying wing, usually the racing wing, but it's a little older. Hope he's not you know, he said it might ding it up. It might bend it.
Let's check in with Dave Argerbright. Dave, we got a hot one coming up.
Yeah, a hot one coming up, Ralph. After that exchange in the dash, when Sammy Swindell and Steve Kinzer bumped, they had a heated exchange back here in the pits. That's nothing new. They've raced against each other with a lot of intensity for 23 years now, but it's not a good night. They're both a little bit sore at each other, looks like. They line up, guess it, right next to each other in the A main, Ralph.
Oh, and those two won't forget. That's going to make for a very exciting A feature. Can we get a young guy like Craig Delansky to win? And what will Sammy and Steve do? Stick around to find out.
When you're a big-time racer, it's just fame, fortune, and beautiful women. A pretty cool package. Almost as cool as the Luxair 2000 Performance Package. Get up to $200 cash back. Or make no payments and pay no interest for 6 months. Okay, so it's not fame and beautiful women, but when you save a small fortune, who knows where it'll lead? Offer ends June 30th, so find your Luxair dealer fast at 1-800-LUXAIRE.
Pep Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all Cornell 808 35,000-mile tires, 4 for $99. Futura 855 55,000-mile tires, 4 for $129. Or get our Futura 70,000-mile tires, all sizes, 4 for only $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us.
TNN Sports coverage of the O'Reilly Shootout is being brought to you by Mopar, parts for Chrysler, Plymouth, Dodge, and Jeep vehicles from the dealerships that sell and install them. Wrenchhead.com, with millions of brand name auto parts and accessories to choose from. It's easy to prove you're a wrench head. Are you a wrench head? Wrenchhead.com, parts online all the time. Look at the lights flashing in the background. Here on top of the drag strip tower, the control tower, that's where all the suites are for the sprint car races. And here's your A featured lineup as we get set for the O'Reilly Shootout. And the Pennzoil World of Outlaws go with the 4 wide. Your Mopar grid, Craig Delansky and Andy Hillenberg in row 1. Mark Kinzer and Danny Lasowski, row 2. Tim Schaefer and Dean Jacobs will make up the 3rd row. The King, Steve Kinzer in row 4 with Sammy Swindell. That's going to be a hot spot. Jeff Shepard and Donnie Crawford in row 5. Tatnall and Hodenshield in row 6. Danny Wood and Joey Saldana will make up the 7th row. Paul McMahon and Shane Stewart in row 8. Dale Blaney got his first World of Outlaw win earlier this week. He'll be in row 9 with Jason Myers, the B feature winner. Lance Blevins and Darren Pittman. Johnny Herrera and Stevie Smith buried all the way back in row 11. Aaron Berryhill and Craig Hodnett, the V12 in row 12. Donnie Schatz, Craig Kinzer, Ronald Laney all take provisionals to make it into the O'Reilly Shootout.
That's a lot of race cars in this little racetrack.
Oh, man. It is going to be wild out there, and Craig Delansky is going to be at the front, leading them all into turn number 1, and he has learned a lot over the last couple of years.
Patience was the biggest thing, that, you know, developing patience throughout the race, and you know, not being so much where you're just looking at, you know, getting into the lead on the first 3-4 laps. You know, being a little more patient in racing is one of the bigger things I learned last year, and one of the things that I think has helped me out right now.
And controlling that patience right now is going to be so tough on him.
Yep, if he doesn't get the lead, and he's just going to have to settle in and just ride it out for a lap or 2.
And our mate Wade Ornger is going to join us in the booth as well.
Mate, 30 cars, 30 laps, you say, 27 cars, 20 grand. If this doesn't turn you on, you haven't got a switch.
I like that. All right, here we go. We're going green. The O'Reilly Shootout underway. Somehow they all get through 1 and 2, barely bumping and banging. Shots at the back end. Look at Berryhill. He's 4-wheeling through there. Looks like a Mickey Thompson race.
Oh, there's mud. There's mud. Probably caked. Now he's got to break. Look, there might be some mud.
That's going to bring out a yellow.
It looked. They probably got mud jammed up in the brake caliper and up in the rotor of that car in the left front.
All right, so that'll bring out a yellow. So Andy Hillenberger got a great start. Had a pretty good bit of room already built up. A couple of car lengths between him and Delansky, and he's lost it all now.
Berryhill hung that left side up on there. It probably just packed that left front wheel behind there on the back of the wheel, and it's wedged between the rim and the brake caliper.
Broco Arrow, Oklahoma. Aaron Berryhill had that horrible fire a few years ago. Worked his way back through there. Let's check in with Dave Argabrake.
Well, Ralph, that's a tough break for Aaron Berryhill. Just 12 days ago, he and his wife, Brandy, brought a new baby into the world, Presley Lane, their first daughter, and this is a fine Father's Day present for a new dad. Isn't that terrible?
Well, he's trying to get that thing to roll. Here comes Working Woody. I'm going to try and get him out of there.
Well, if Working Woody can't push him, he'll put that little hook on and pick him up and drag him off.
Wade, what are the majority of the sprint car tracks in Australia like?
Probably a lot more like this in terms of being hooky. There's not a lot of tracks that are dry slick, like you might see sort of more in the Midwest. So there's probably a lot more situations. Talking to Brooke Tatnall after his dash, he said, hey, I got a bike out there. It's just like being at home. And Brad, you know that yourself. Sometimes our tracks can get a little bit cut up, but there's always plenty of bite down under.
Let's take a look at the onboard cameras that we're going to have for you here as well. This is from Hillenberg's car. Super 8 motel camera. Craig Delansky's got one too, also on the front row. Looking back at Mark Kinzer.
You can see the track surface there as they're rolling along, how brown and wet and sticky it still is.
And Dean Jacobs has a camera for us as well. Wade, I know that sprint car racing is hugely popular in Australia. How much of what we do up here do you folks get to see down there?
Yeah, a lot of it actually. We get these telecasts, albeit it's a little bit delayed, but everybody's glued to the TV set. Of course, we're all trying to watch and see what Brooks up to. I mean, we followed his progress last year. A lot of people don't realise, I don't think, how much it takes for someone to pack up 14,000 miles and head up here and go racing. So we're all very proud of what he's doing, and we keep a close eye on it.
Bobby Gerald, how's Aaron Berryhill?
Aaron Berryhill just bringing the 66 car down here into the infield. It looks like he is going to be done. He's taking the steering wheel off and is taking the gloves off, so we think that he is going to be done. Craig Delansky, you know, you guys have been talking about the brakes all night. Craig says he's running a 3-brake system on his car right now. He has added a right rear brake, which is something that he doesn't normally run. Now let's think about this again. Wade said for 20 grand going into turn 1, Hillenberg got the jump on Delansky last time. It's supposed to be that the inside has the advantage. So we'll try it again and see what happens, but a lot riding on this, guys.
They'll be coming to the green as they come off of turn number 4. Better jump for Delansky. Boy, he can't keep that front wheel down. Look at him scattering, including Steve Kinzer in the back.
Geez, what a difference in the racetrack, fellas, last night.
Oh, and Kinzer's involved, and Sammy goes upside down in the channel lock car. And piling into it is Craig Kinzer. Brooke Tatnell right in the middle of him, the Casey's General Store number 6. That's Craig Kinzer in the Power number 14. And Sammy, frustrated, crawling out of his channel lock number 1. We've also got Paul McManju, too, and another car is standing up on the tail, and I can't see from here who there's Craig Kinzer. He's out.
I think those cars might have just come around and
maybe Stevie Smith in the 19 way in the back. Hard to tell. There's Darren Pittman's blue number 3, but doesn't look like he's got any damage.
These guys might have had to stop, Ralph, to keep from getting involved. And
it is Stevie Smith, the Ingersoll ran 19, sticking straight up.
You know, we've talked about the track, all three of us up here, about the first 2 days it's slick and everything, and now it's so sticky. He's talking to Jeff Shepard and Dale Blaney. He said racing is the only sport that the court changes. I mean, basketball, the hoop size stays the same, and the foul line's always the same.
It looks like Stevie in the back there.
That was Sammy.
Sammy. Yeah, but I saw the Stevie's car going already.
I think Brooke was okay till Craig Kinzer came along too. Okay, there's Steve. Oh, it was behind Steve.
Yeah.
Looked like Dean Jacobs and Sammy Swindell.
Yep.
And Brooke rolled up there and stopped and looked okay, and then Craig Kinzer comes around right there and drives into the back of Brooke.
How did Stevie get it up like that? Ronald Laney's 52 is right there.
Oh boy.
Have you ever seen a car standing just upright like that on
no,
the tail?
It stuck the rear of the car, the torsion bars and stuff, right in that heavy mud, it looks like, and just kind of lodged it there.
Gee, it's been a tough week for Stevie Smith too. I mean, he's really, I think, struggled to get to terms with the track the last 2 nights, and now to have this.
Now, we had an onboard camera with Dean Jacobs, and let's see from his view. There's Sammy, and you're going up in the air.
It looks like from that angle that Sammy got into the left side of Dean, run up over his left rear.
I still don't see where Stevie
Smith?
Yeah, he's back in there somewhere, and I can't see what happens to him. But somehow he gets way up in the air. Brooke Tatnell got a little shaken up in that one, trying to catch his composure. Well, get rattled around, flipping around like that. Everything gets banged around, and we'll see if Brooke's going to be okay when we come back.
Sweating like crazy.
You got TV cameras all over you.
The last thing you want is this white clumpy thing running down your arm.
It's just rude.
We asked some of the hottest pros under the sun to switch antiperspirants.
Degree Invisible Solid? What's that?
I would assume it goes on clear, but I'm not sure I believe that.
When your body heats up, Degree Invisible Solid releases extra protection with a clear difference.
Right there. See, there's no white stuff. The harder I work, the harder it works.
No flaking, no funk, no Klingons.
Degree Invisible Solid. Works hard but never shows.
After the match, there's a ton of girls. Gotta be cool.
Oh, Becky, look.
Big Dipper, and there's Orion.
Daddy?
Uh-huh.
Who turns off the stars at night?
Nobody. They're on all night.
So how come we never see them from home?
Discover the world through a new set of eyes. Go RVing. Visit an RV dealer or call for a free video.
Well, what a wild beginning to the O'Reilly Shootout here on TNN Sports with the Pennzoil World of Outlaws. We hope you're enjoying it so far. Here's why we were under a red flag condition. This was on what was the opening lap. In fact, we haven't even completed a lap yet. Sammy Swindell takes a Chanock car and sticks it in the fence. A whole bunch of other people had problems, including Brooke Tatnall in the 6 and Craig Kinzer in the 14. Stevie Smith was straight up and down in the 19. And Sammy Swindell now in the 1 car, trying to get that one ready to get back out on the track.
Boy, it sure looked like a lot of damage, Ralph, to the front of that thing. But it looks like it might have a front axle hanging back in it, but he said it bent the frame and things, so it might not be in too good a shape.
Brooke Tatnall, however, we're happy to report, is okay. We saw him laying down just before we went away. He is back, and not only is he back, he's back in the car.
Well, that hit he took, it might have just knocked the wind out of him a little bit there, and looks like he's going to be okay.
Boys, you're talking about a guy that climbed to the top of the Sydney Harbour Bridge to propose to his girlfriend. He's not going to let something like that knock him over.
That's a big climb.
It's a long way up.
Here we go. We still haven't completed a lap, but we're back to green. Oh, Delansky does not get the good start this time. Instead, it's Hillenberg. Look at how many spots Delansky has lost.
Trouble for the wild child.
On Shields slings it down to the bottom. He comes back up in front of Jason Myers, at least tries to, and Craig Hodnett in the V12, the car owned by Kart FedEx Series star Jimmy Vasser, brings out the yellow.
Just got up there in the ruts probably, and again, when it's slick on the bottom like this, a driver's got to be so careful because the car can go from too loose to too tight instantly. As you see the fireworkers running up right in front of Greg's left front wheel right there is the berm, a big cushion. You watch it go down over top of it right there, a big bump, and that's a cushion that's just real low on the racetrack. See how it's rolled up there and stuff, and
you can see the different waves almost to the dirt.
Exactly. And part of that comes from, like we said earlier, a lot of clouds today, but hardly any wind. The last couple of days, the wind was blowing about 40 or 50 miles per hour. Today, there wasn't hardly any wind and not a lot of sun, so it's stayed pretty sticky.
When you take those big right rear tires the size of Texas out there and let them roll across that stuff.
With only 7 or 8 pounds, maybe 9 or 10 on a track this heavy, but they roll under and peel that track up.
Here we go again. And Delansky this time. Oh, and we flip another one. Is that Shepard? Yep, Jeff Shepard in the white 4J.
Geez, Ralph, what a contrast. When you think back, the last 2 days they've been having to be really gentle on the throttle, so not to break the car loose and spin out. Well, tonight they're going to have to be real gentle on the throttle, not to get too much bite.
Guess what? Yep. We haven't run a lap yet. And in the meantime, Sammy's Chanock car is just about done, and he's going to get to rejoin the field here, kids.
They're taping the wing right there. That's the wing mount. They're using gray tape to tape the wing mount on, and you're right. They kept on working. The red's back out. Now they got some time to keep working. See Dale Blaney's crew there, among other crews, helping out.
Now watch that white 4J on the inside, just behind the black number 1.
Climbs up over the left rear of Donnie Crawford. You can't blame that on the racetrack. You cannot blame that on the racetrack when a guy gets in the corner and runs over another guy's tire and turns it upside down.
That's just short track racing.
That's short track racing.
Did you like short track racing?
I loved it. You know, but you like any of them that you're fast on that particular night.
That's right. Sammy trying to get back out. Brian Paul's giving him a hand.
Hi, I'm Smitty. I guess you could call me a plethora of information. For this, you're gonna need a blower, maybe a vac. Customers look at me as the answer guy. If they've got a question, they need an answer, they come to me. All you need here is a cordless push mower. I'm going to give you everything you need to take care of your yard. Tractor, definitely the lawn tractor. We've got everything you could possibly imagine in power tools, all kinds of stuff.
String trimmer.
I'm basically here to make sure the customer gets what he needs for the job.
The Home Depot, where low prices are just the beginning.
Mopar. Great parts for these vehicles and yours. That's the Mopar difference.
Still got athlete's foot? Wincing from the itching? Yearning to stop the burning? Don't take it anymore. Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max. It's got a powerful new ingredient others don't have, so it takes fewer applications to cure your athlete's foot. In fact, one tube of Desenex Max has more curing power than 3 of these guys. Or these guys. Athlete's foot? Don't take it anymore. Cure it to the max. New Desenex Max.
When you're a big-time racer, it's just fame, fortune, and beautiful women. A pretty cool package. Almost as cool as the Luxair 2000 Performance Package. Get up to $200 cash back. Or make no payments and pay no interest for 6 months. Okay, so it's not fame and beautiful women, but when you save a small fortune, who knows where it'll lead? Offer ends June 30th, so find your Luxair dealer fast at 1-800-LUXAIRE.
Well, guess what? Sammy is back out. And, man, we've seen some strange things happen in the Pennzoil World of Outlaws, Brad. It is not completely out of the realm of possibilities. Sammy could win this thing.
Well, it's a long way to go on a racetrack like this, but he, again, that luck worked into there because they weren't going to make it had he not had this red and give him a chance to get back out.
A couple of yellows and you get a couple of breaks, and hey, you never know.
But boy, I tell you what, on this racetrack, this tight little track, he's got a lot of iron to go
drama
through.
here. Come on, Tony, work with me on this.
Well, remember, Hillenburg came from well back.
Well, he did. He 18th last year and won it.
Track was a little different then, but he did come a long way.
If anybody can do it, Sammy will try it. I guarantee you.
Australian guy over there, he knows what he's talking about.
Sometimes, guys.
Sometimes. All right, we're going green. Here we go. Can we get a lap in? Oh, boy, it's going to be tight. Wasowski way up high. Hillenburg got the jump. Delansky slots into second. And I think we're going to get a lap in the books. Yes, we do. Here comes Schaefer in the 11H, the Vibrant car on the outside of Lasowski. That is a fight right now in about 6th position. Now there's your fight for second.
It's just awesome to watch him drive so hard off those left rear tyres coming off the turns that almost pointing towards the wall in some places, then just jab the brakes there and pitch her on in. God, it's a good sport, this.
You're looking at all Lasowski back in 5th position right now. So that's Schaefer's in 4th in the yellow 11. Then Mark Kinzer's the Mopar 5M. He is holding down 3rd. Craig Delansky sits in 2nd. His red number 7. And Andy Hillenburg is pulling away in the black Luxair number 2 right now. Way out in front of this pack. Steve Kinzer is in 6th. And boy, Hillenburg is running great, Dave.
Well, he is, Ralph, but he told me during that red flag that his car was still way, way too tight. He said he desperately needed to burn off some fuel because with a full fuel load, the car was almost undrivable. So with every lap, he expected his race car to get just a little bit better. Does that sound familiar, Brad Doty?
Well, absolutely, but what's going to happen, the slick part of the track is going to get slicker and slicker, and the rough part might get rougher. It's going to roll up and even get rougher up there in the middle and the top. I can see a little shine already down in 3 and 4, Ralph. It's starting to shine off on the very bottom where everybody's running.
Well, the other thing, Wade, is now he's starting to get into traffic.
I was just thinking about that just now, Ralph, because remember last year it was Johnny Herrera who ran away like a startled gazelle, really, and it was this man that ran him down. I wouldn't want to be Andy Hillenburg as they come up on traffic. Nobody's really got any consistent lines together yet. They're getting drive in all the wrong places.
Shepard is in front of him. He replaced that top wing. And you see that white 4J, that's one of the cars he's going to be working around. Oh, he picks up that front wheel.
And see, that just makes it worse when you have to get off the throttle for a lap car and you stab that throttle. That's when you do the wheelies.
Jack Hochschild back in 11th position right now, and there's a 14 of Jason Myers racing with him. Battling it out for 11th. Stewart just in front of him, and then Sal down in front of him, and Joey's holding down 9th. So that's 9th, 10th, and 11th having at it.
Oh, and Steve Kinzer done a huge wheelie there.
Actually, that's Craig Kinzer getting lapped.
I saw the Q on top.
Yeah, I know. That's Dean Jacobs right there giving you that onboard look. So the tear-off go flying away.
Yeah, that really gives you a good idea of how physical it is out there for them in the turns especially. It's all right when you're on the loud pedal down the main straightaway, but when you get to those turns, you can just see the way that Dean's, that little strap to the helmet.
Jack Hochschild makes contact in the 22 car, and he's knocked the nose wing off of Joey Saldana.
Yep.
You know I was a prisoner.
Yeah, well, you seem to be, enjoying yourself.
I tried
just fine.
everything I could to get out of there to be with you. I banged my hand so hard against the door that I hurt myself.
Really, what was I supposed to think? Your lipstick was all over the guy's face.
I didn't realize.
Well, I saw you in there with Leo, and I guess I was trying to pretend like it didn't really bother me.
But it did, right? I mean, you've been acting weird since before last night.
Well, that's because, you're always with the guy. Every time I see you, he's tagging along.
Listen, we were drunk, okay? And when he kissed me, I didn't want to hurt his feelings. Leo means nothing to me. You have to believe that.
Yeah, there you go. All right. Oh, he's here.
Remember what I said, okay?
Hey. You're Scott, right? You seen Becca?
Yeah, she said she'd be right back. Cool. Leo, wait.
What?
I just wanted to warn you.
About what?
Becca, she's pretty ticked at you.
Well, you're the one that stepped on her toes last night when you cut in on us. I could recommend a good dance instructor if you'd like, Scott.
You don't remember, huh? Last night you were wobbling and teetering pretty badly. You tried to force her to dance with you, just about fell on us. It was a pretty bad scene,
Thanks for the heads up.
Sure.
Why the warning, Scott? Why not just let her clobber me with a bucket and get a good laugh?
Well, I've been thinking that it might be time we put down our differences.
But in no way am I interested in him. You know what? I've got a lot of errands to run. Do you mind if I go?
No, absolutely not. Go ahead.
Are you
Really.
sure?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Listen. Don't worry, okay? Leo is not in the picture. I knew it. He's mine.
Okay, what just happened there?
I never should have come.
I didn't mean to lie to her. I just started, and it just kind of snowballed.
And now she thinks you care about her, and... Are we just making a bigger mess of things?
Oh, Jillian, listen. I hate to lie, and I hate to sneak around like this, but, we don't have a choice.
No, we don't. Not until I've had a chance to talk to Jake. I'm gonna hurt him, and I'm gonna hurt Greenlee, and Why does it all have to be so complicated?
Listen. Don't worry about Jake.
Boys knows how to give you a great deal on tires. They don't run specials on just one size. Pep Boys discounts every size in stock. That means all Cornell 808 35,000-mile tires, 4 for $99. Futura 855 55,000-mile tires, 4 for $129. Or get our Futura 70,000-mile tires, all sizes, 4 for only $169.
Pep Boys. Cars like us.
People love us. The biggest news in motor oil since motor oil.
Let me show you something that really surprised me. Look what happened to the other leading motor oils after a 128-hour test designed to simulate severe driving conditions. But this is newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base after the same test. I'm no mechanic, but I know which one I'd rather put in my car. These, I don't even know what I'd do with these.
For protection so strong you can see the difference, get newly formulated Pennzoil with Pure Base.
Ralph Shaheen alongside of Brad Doty and Wade Ornger visiting us from down under. Dave Argerbride and Bobby Gerald working in the pit area, and they're going to be a little busy catching up with this car. Joey Saldana, who's still sitting inside of his number 17, and see the damage.
Well, never say never, but there's a lot of damage there to fix.
Gee, look at the damage to that left rear wheel. I mean, it appeared that there was a problem with that.